Okay. Hey, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. So Restream did some updates in the last, probably in the last week,
good.
past few days. They got live editing now, which is, so you can like you can edit a scene before you switch to it. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if I'm going to try that today, but that's a scary thought, but that's sort of how OBS works. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see if I mess with that today and screw everything up. But Dan's here to fix it though, so that'll be good.
Remember, with this update, I don't have access to the panel, so I can't do anything. I don't know if you got to re-enable me or what, but I can't help.
We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, they got the live editing thing now, so that'll be interesting. But anyway, Andy, welcome for a little while. Anyway, it's good to see you. We got to try and get on. We got to try and do a stream like super early for Andy at some point. We have to figure out the, or not just for Andy, of course. I mean, I'm sure we've got other viewers that are, across the pond that, might want to see us, at their normal times for them, Anyway, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Probably not on the air in front of everybody. So we got today. We got storytelling versus emergent narrative. That'd be great. Yeah, I mean, if we can get a few people to watch us, maybe we'll do it. I know like some of the other channels have started doing the breakfast thing and all that.
The lunchtime streams, yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you just said you weren't going to talk about it now, and then immitiately pivoted right back to talking about it some more.
All right, thanks for keeping me on track, Matt. Appreciate it.
Squirrel.
I listen. I'm not as bad as Jeff, but
few are.
I will do it.
But if we did one at UK time, Andy would listen to it live. What would he listen to as he walks to work in the morning and evening?
Well, that's when he'll have to listen to the Tuesday.
I'm not like telling a secret or anything. Andy doesn't listen to us live. He listens to us the next morning on his way to work. He listens to it as he's walking to work and on his way back.
Yeah, well, he can listen to that, and then he can also listen to us live when it's convenient for him.
I was going to say, if he's listening on the way to and from work and he can do the entire show in one day, does that mean he's walking an hour and a half to work each way?
No, I think he's still here, so Andy can answer for himself. But I think it takes him about a week to listen to our show when it's through.
Oh, okay. All right. It's
okay. A little bit at a time. Okay.
Cool. Cool.
Spread out over the week. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's probably the safest way to listen to this, to be honest.
In small chunks.
The Surgeon General recommends, 30 minutes.
Some of us. Yeah, some of us.
What are you talking about? It's 3.5 hours of focused content.
There you go. Yeah, focused content.
Laser
focus.
There you go. 40 minutes a day.
Good.
So
40 minutes. Okay.
20 minutes each way.
Oh, look at this. Hunter's already on the thing. Listen, we can't get into the.
There's a process here.
We can't get right into topic today. We can't. We have
a plan to this madness.
We got a plan. So first, allegedly. Got to go through show and tell, right? Everybody loves show and tell. At least we do. I don't know if any of our viewers actually care, but some of them get mad because they end up having to buy stuff. That's the.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, yeah,
Andy misses the wheel. He misses his chance to win.
Yeah. We'll have to do something. Oh, Bloodworth. Yeah. He's doing the 9 a.m. stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah. There's that, and I know Shadow does the second breakfast or whatever. That's lit later though. That's at like noon, I think. But yeah, good stuff. So this just came in today. This was on. This was from a Kickstarter. Surprise. But it's not a game. This is a history book. D&D, an American institution. I know it's another history of D&D book. This has got a lot of stuff about Rob Kuntz in there, and he dives more into the stuff with Chainmail and David Wesley and before that and all of that. But there's probably a lot in here that rehashes, the slew of other books that there are on D&D history. I love this stuff.
Prologue where he libels Gary and all the people of his ilk that are to blame for all the issues in Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I haven't seen anything in here that blames anybody or says there's no disclaimer or anything like that.
That is a very good start.
Yeah. Actually, in the acknowledgments, the first thing he talks about, there's a bunch of stuff in here that he talks about, but yeah, he talks about the basic expert bringing up Gary Gygax's sexist remarks in Europa 1011 in 1975 that they were taken out of context because he was replying in a sarcastic fashion, and there's a whole list of stuff that he uses and all that. But so yeah, there's a ton of stuff in here. It's pretty cool. I think I haven't read it, but yeah. So good times. I'll read it and we'll talk about it. Next week. There's a couple of people. It says, Jason, your volume's a bit low. Yeah, maybe.
I'm looking into it. Give
sounds
me some
okay. Yeah. Oh, that was better now.
That was better.
Okay, cool.
Probably you're probably just further away from the mic.
Well, I usually, because I like Andy, I listen to the show at least twice after we do it, and I always sound really loud, and I don't like that. It's like horribly loud. So I'm trying to figure out how my audio works best. So I turned it down a little bit at the beginning, but if it seems okay now, then we're good.
Yeah, no, it seems fine. Yeah,
great.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Hey, Paul, welcome to the show.
Spoiler alert, Paul. Jeez, man.
Stories you come up with make sense. Yeah, Jesus. Oh my God. Paul, we'll get to that. This is our whole episode. Pump the brakes, buddy.
Man, what a ruiner. Now we can just talk about painting the whole time.
Yay.
Yeah, I can do that.
And then so as you guys know, I'm going to be running a Call of Cthulhu campaign online. And eventually I'd like to run masks, but I want to run a shorter campaign before I get into that and see if that works. And Shellback, I can't hear any of you. I don't. That's a problem with your volume.
That's a you problem, sir.
Yeah, that's a shell problem.
So I went and bought a couple source books. The first one is the Arkham source book, which is really cool.
Cover.
And you got the leatherette fancy ones too. Yep. I see.
Yep. And of course, because I want to run something in Innsmouth, I got the Innsmouth source book as well. So good stuff. A lot of cool stuff in here. There's a lot of cool art, like this. just really, really, really cool stuff. I kind of like the Innsmouth book better than I like the Arkham book. Just flipping through, and the only reason is, this was made second as well, right? So they kind of got their bearings straight on it. But the Arkham book, Arkham is a much larger city. And so everything is sort of separated, and there's certain buildings and there's things that, show you what's in each neighborhood, what buildings are there and all of that. But not everything is detailed because there's so much. But with Innsmouth, that has a population of somewhere around like 300, everything is in here. Every building on the map has a name and people and things associated with it. And it's just fantastic. So you could let loose a group of adventurers in Innsmouth, and they could just go down a random street and walk into a random building and, hey, here's what's there,
It's like a setting book versus a toolkit almost, right?
Yeah.
They're like a little bit different. The one is like much more immediately gameable than the other. They're both good, but that Innsmouth book is really good. It's very gameable.
I think the Innsmouth book, you can. I mean, I wouldn't run just that for a campaign, but I mean, you probably could. I mean, you could keep players and stuff busy for a while. Just go explore Innsmouth, and you'll find different things that kind of attach and link. I mean, I still think you need to run some sort of an adventure, or have something there, but it's great stuff. Just great. There's a whole bunch of things going on.
I've never played Call of Cthulhu. I've only ever played Call of Cthulhu divided by 5.
Okay. Yeah. I mean that,
I do want to try it. So
yeah. I mean, it's it's like Dragonbane. You're just everything's multiplied.
Well, that would be called Cthulhu divided by 5.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. But that's what I got. So yeah, spoilers. Call of Cthulhu game coming soon. I don't know whether it'll be streamed or not. Probably not, but we'll see. I just going around. What do you got, Jason? Anything?
Not a thing, sir.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, I got nothing, man. We didn't actually even play Sunday. We made some decisions about the campaign.
Oh yeah.
I have ordered nothing. I've got nothing. Several Kickstarters I was glaring at this weekend because they are long past due. But they've already got my money, so all I can do is wait. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I haven't gone through my past due Kickstarter list in a while.
Yeah,
So.
and we've talked about this a few times. As soon as you start throwing in stretch goals and all that, it's always going to lengthen the production process. But I've backed several small projects, things that definitely should not be taking as long as they have, and I'm a little annoyed with that.
Well, a lot of that, and it sucks, and we've mentioned this too. Like even the small projects, people will go to Kickstarter before they have words on paper.
Yes, sir.
And I'll go the next step further, that there's been a few even larger ones where they've come out and have said, hey, this is done. It just needs editing and layout. And we're to this point where, months overdue, we get told, oh, well, this book's almost done being written. And then it's got to go to layout,
Yeah.
And it happens. So that's kind of where we are, but hopefully we get them, and that's it.
But looks like we're pulling the trigger on Forbidden Lands. Very excited about that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I've been reading
Sunday
that player's
game,
guide for the past 2 days. So just very excited about that. I think it's gonna be great.
Yep.
Yep.
We're trying, Bloodworth.
We're
trying, Bloodworth.
I will never have one.
Matt's got one, but it's buried in the bowels of YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, I don't make YouTube. So I did like 10, 11 years ago. I made like computer stuff, but
I was thinking today about reviewing some music. I used to play bass. I have not in many years. I do not play bass anymore. But every now and then I'll hear a song that's just got a phenomenal bass line to it. And when I hear that, I get really into it, and I'll start listening to the song very closely to try and hear the shifts and all that. And I was thinking today, I was like, man, I really love this song. I should just do an essay on it. I like to write. And so I was like, man, I should write an essay on this song. I really enjoy that. And then I was like, maybe I should just put it on YouTube. And then as soon as that popped in my head, I was like, oh God, no, no, I'm not doing that. So I might write an essay for my own amusement, but I'm not doing anything on YouTube.
Yeah, and Mike Nistel is coming back into the fold now, and I don't know if he's attached to any Kickstarters again, but give him time. He's a special guest at a couple conventions, isn't he? Coming up, Paul. Paul just did a video on this stuff, but yep, saw his name come up as a special guest. So after he's 2-3 Kickstarters for like 10, 15 grand a piece or something that he's just still hasn't delivered on. Dan, what do you got? You got anything this week?
I got a couple things. Got an adventure by, I'm sure I'm gonna screw this up, ZXU. It's Lauren's Song of the Bachelor.
Okay.
My Hyperborea referee actually ran this for us, and I really liked it. And I was poking around on eBay. Occasionally I'll type in OSR and just scroll through it, and this popped up for like $20, so I grabbed it because it was fun. I grabbed the Funsters Axe books because Axe is fun. Deep Carbon Observatory, supposed to be a good adventure, so picked that up. That was like $25 on eBay. Once again, OSR search. But in honor of Arduin August, I did an M-Show order.
Nice.
So
nice.
Once I finish prepping Gods of Forbidden North, I'm going to read through that. But the big thing I did is I started a new hobby, thanks to the M-Cho guys.
A new hobby? Oh boy. There you go.
I painted some throats.
Nice.
I just painted them today. They're missing top coats.
Excellent.
But yeah, so now I've got jumping crocodiles that can kill you. And I had a lot of fun. And I'm going to buy more stuff to paint because it was really relaxing and delightful.
Fantastic.
I was on a conference call getting chirped at, getting bitched at, and I was just like, okay, dry brushing. It was a good time.
Nice.
So
good time.
And thank you very much, Stan, for the pointers and putting up with my 10 million questions.
Anytime, man.
So
anytime.
Listen. It's okay because I was on the receiving end of that with Stan the past couple days with
for 3D printing. Okay,
so
he was paying it forward,
and I feel good about it because someday, when I start painting again, I'm going to be on the phone with him for an hour and a half,
or in 5 minutes when you break restream. Then you can start bugging me, and I'll try to figure it out without seeing it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it all goes around. Yeah. So, yeah, Bloodworth, I'm trying here, buddy. I'm trying.
Why? What happens on February 2027?
They changed. I don't know. He's probably read the thing. Something's changing. Matt, what do you got? You got anything?
I did. Where did you get the print copy of Lawrence Song of the Bachelor?
It was on eBay. There was actually a guy in Chicago that had a bunch of random OSR stuff. And are you sad?
No, I'm happy for you.
Oh, well, yeah, it was. He also had some other ZX2 stuff that is also very, very pricey.
Yeah, I have most of his other stuff, but I don't.
Yeah, he had Reach of the Roach God and all the zines. So
yeah, those I have. But cool. So yeah, I got more stuff than usual this week.
Nice.
So I got Dreadnoughts, which is a mothership hack where it's like the boats, pirates and boats and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
Not really pirates, more like whaling ships and such, I guess, or like Arctic. The guys who are exploring the Arctic and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's neat.
I have
Is it like horror?
Yeah, it's
like
just instead of space, it's the ocean. Yeah.
So it's got some heavy like thing references and stuff, probably.
That's what I was thinking. As soon as he said Arctic, that'd be pretty badass.
Or like, what was that other one? The Terror or whatever. The first season of that. Yeah, it's yeah. So it's like that. I'm not necessarily. This is like their 0 edition. It's like a pre. For some reason, since Mothership did a 0 edition, every Mothership hack has to do a 0 edition too.
Yeah,
I'm not in love with some of the. Like the design, not the game design, the graphic design, but there's plenty of time to clean that up. So that's kind of neat. There was a Cairn double print Kickstarter for 2 adventures, like a double shot. I swear I just backed this like 45 days ago or something. I mean, this is like one of those rare ones where he put it up like with everything done, and it was just I'm just seeing how many copies I print, which is kind of cool. I haven't looked through these yet; they just came in. I got so this is one we were talking about the other day, so I had to grab the Hands of the White Wizard. They just opened up the pre-orders on BackerKit too for the new edition of One Ring also. If you're into that I hate when they do that $1 reservation thing, but if you're into that, they just open those.
That's kind of annoying, and they usually give you like some extra thing that's that
it's like a dice bag
for $5 or something.
Yeah, like I don't know, Roger, if that's something or Jason, if that's something you care about or not, but the One Ring, if you do $1, you get some exclusive dice bag for it.
I've already done it. Anyway.
Yeah, right. Figures.
Didn't know they were coming out with a new edition of it.
I saw the beacon of light right at noon, and I immediately jumped on back.
You are quite correct. I saw it. Yes, I saw the announcement and immediately went in and reserved my spot.
Yeah. There's a new Heart supplement. Heart was one of the games on the list of games. So so that this is like all GM guide stuff, which is kind of interesting. It's weird. It's like the book, half of it goes this way and then it like flips over on the other way. I haven't quite figured out why or what's going on with that, but it's kind of different. Really kind of obscure thing I wanted to get just because I suspect it's not going to be in print that long. The Between Two Cairns guys did a con Between Two Cons, and they they ran the plus one XP. Somebody from there put together this thing called Betwixt Two Piles, which is basically the game version of Between Two Cairns, where you can play podcasters reviewing an RPG product. So it's like a weird meta humor thing.
Interesting.
I can't imagine they're going to sell more than like 50 of these.
Right.
But it made me laugh.
Podcasters that talk about Dungeons and Dragons will be the people that want to buy this.
So it's kind of funny. But so I grabbed that, and then the big one that came in that's like been 2 years waiting for is the Mothership Wages of Sin campaign fulfilled. So this is this oversized magazine called Mega Damage, which is pretty cool. It's just loaded with stuff. And then this is the Wages of Sin, the special edition one. So I guess I'm as bad as Roger with some games, but I sprung for the fancier one. So this just came in like a few days ago. So I've been reading through now that the book came, I can finally read the PDF because I'm weird that way. So I've been
I do that too.
So got a lot of stuff. The Mothership stuff I'm pretty excited about because I mean between these two things, this is like 400 or 500 pages of Mothership stuff, which is a lot.
Yeah. So especially for a Mothership aficionado.
I know. Yeah, I gotta dig into that stuff. So I got the T-shirt and everything. Yeah, pretty cool.
Are we gonna see some of that stuff at MEPA?
I certainly hope so.
I am running a bunch of Mothership stuff that I've just started testing. Actually, it's the Wages of Sin is more of almost like a campaign framework because it's like the whole thing is like bounty hunting, and so campaign hooks and all kinds of stuff related to that.
Well, Mega 2 sessions a year.
Yeah, mega damage. I'll definitely look through, but no, I started test like I just ran Vibe Shetty this week. That was a lot of fun. That's like their Jason X adventure from Hull Breach, where you're being stalked by a masked killer with a giant Vibe Shetty. So got to cut some players' arms and legs off and stuff. That was pretty fun. So that went well. So I'm excited to run that again. So
nice. Yeah. Good times. Stan, what do you got this week?
So I got this. Well, I got this too. This came in.
Oh yeah.
I'm reading Swan Press. It'll go in a little Wildlands. It was on sale on drive-through, so I finally snagged a copy. Pretty awesome. Matches in with the rest of their stuff that they did. And then I made this because I finally bit the bullet and bought a 3D printer under Mike and Roger's advice. I got a Bamboo Labs PS1, and I've been running that.
P1S.
P1S.
So what are your thoughts on it so far? Is it as easy as everyone says?
Yeah, and listen, I am a moron. And
that is so not
I've
true.
I've been
really not
working that thing ever since it got going. Like ever since I got it finally, I got it connected, and it was super easy to set up. Like you basically snip a couple zip ties, take out 3 screws, screw in 2 screws just to hold the spool, and put your screen on and plug that in. Even I can do that. So it is super simple to use. Like yesterday, I was at Best Buy and I was looking to buy a laptop, but they were too expensive. And then I discovered that they sell Bamboo Lab printers at Best Buy, and I was like, if I didn't need a laptop right now, I would probably buy another one of these and bring it home.
Wow. You mind if I ask you how much you paid for it?
I got it through Amazon, and before like any sort of warranty or anything, it was $389.
Really?
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. I paid $389. Then I don't remember what I got like a 2-year warranty or something. Wow, and that added a little bit to it.
Yeah.
And but
we're
it was worth it.
Edgelord, we're both using the Bamboo standard PLA filament. So I haven't tried to use anything else. I'm too worried about it.
Maybe someday I'll experiment with it or something. Or super happy with it. Like I said, I printed this thing up. This is for a project I'm working on. It's a bridge. It's already primed, so I'll probably paint it tomorrow. And it's awesome. It's super cool. And like I said, I have no head for technology, and My son helped me a lot stuff with because it's got apps and stuff like that. But I'm doing stuff on my own now. It's not. I mean, I don't know everything about it, but I know enough about it to like I can print stuff, which is what I wanted. So yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
Well, Agile, he's about to get taken in for 2 procedures, so best of luck and all of that. And
good luck, man.
Yeah,
Love
speedy
you, buddy.
recovery.
Yeah, we're here for you. Yeah. Bear, welcome to the chat. As a dirty, filthy story gamer, why not both? You can't have both, Bear.
Before we
Can't
answer
have both. Yeah.
because I don't want to distract stuff tonight. I will.
Sure,
anyway,
no, go
I
ahead.
don't want to. May I answer Edgelord's question from earlier?
Yeah. What did he say?
asked-
I'm sorry.
He asked who
I
my
missed
favorite
something.
bass player was.
Oh,
So now, of course,
okay.
I can't think about anything else.
Yeah.
Because me. I've got a few. Modern type players. Les Claypool is just phenomenal. Yeah, his music is not for everybody. It's kind of weird, but man, that guy could play a bass like there's no tomorrow. But I've really got 2 players that I really absolutely love. Bernard Edwards. If you've heard what was it? La Chic, The Freak. Great funk song, and he was the founding member of the Chic band and wrote most of the music. Incredible bass player. There's a guy from South Africa whose name I am going to butcher. Bakiti Kumalu, I think is his name. South African guy, just phenomenal bass player and composer. He did all the bass on Paul Simon's Graceland album. So if you want to hear that guy play, check that, especially the song Graceland, the title track. Phenomenal bass line. So there you go, man. That's what I got. Now I can think about other stuff.
Shellback ordered some Samurai Musketeers, a couple Samurai Heroes in it, an Owlbear mini. That sounds like a fun game.
Yeah.
So yeah. Were you saying something there? Did I?
No. I was just talking about bass players. And Shellback's asking about the talking real bass. Or I learned to play an upright in grade school. Moved over to electric bass. Both my uncle and my dad played bass. My uncle was a session musician. He's world-class bass player. And my dad's been in a band since he was 14. So he's always played. So I've played both. But like I said at the beginning of the stream, I don't play anymore. I have not played in 30 years. I can't even read music anymore, which kind of sucks. But what are you going to do? So there you go, Shell. Both of them.
And that's the musical portion of our show.
There you go.
We're gonna have to get Jason to play the intro.
I just said I don't play bass anymore.
That's the new channel.
That's what makes it better.
It would sound
That's
like
what
shit.
makes it better.
It's beholders and bases, or bases and beholders, I guess, whichever one.
God.
That's the new channel for you.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, so I want to get back to Bear here because he's a dirty, filthy story gamer. No, yeah, why not both, right? So that's kind of something I wanted to talk about, right? Like I think the whole storytelling and emergent narrative thing, like I think most people have it wrong, and maybe I'll get some heat for this, but I think it's more of a sliding scale than it is, like one or the other. And I know on the title of the video I put something like "which side are you on" or whatever, but yeah, I think a little bit of both is good, right? Like, I mean, I think you can't have it one way or the other, and I obviously, like, I want your input on this, but like my the thing in my head is like, if you take storytelling to the extreme, like that's a railroad, right? Where it's full storytelling and, the GM is just telling a story and this is how the story is going to go. And the players are kind of just there to follow. Like that's the extreme end of it. I'm not saying every storytelling game, but I think that's the extreme end of it. And on the other extreme, right. Emergent narrative is just an empty sandbox, right? Where there's nothing, everything's generated randomly, and then you figure out the story from there, right? But like, there's nothing that's put on hexes. There's no NPCs. There's no, nothing there. And you just, okay, hey, we're going into this town. Well, let's see. Roll on the chart. How big is this town? Let's roll on this chart. What's the name of it? Let's roll. And you're just sort of randomly like generating everything. And I think those are the two extreme ends of things, and then everything else kind of falls in the middle. of that. Does that kind of jive with you guys? Is that something we can agree on? I know Matt's nodding his head.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to offer up but what about Zoidberg, and offer, say, like something like a setting like Gods of the Forbidden North, right? Huge sandbox. There's still like a story and things going on in the world, right? So where does that fall?
So that's probably 75%, towards the emergent narrative side, right?
Right, because it is a huge sandbox.
Because it's a huge sandbox, but it has some story elements and whatnot, right?
Right.
Like I feel the same way about Innsmouth.
Okay.
Right? It's like a giant sandbox, but there's no story. I mean, it's not randomly generated, but so it's a sandbox, and there's some stuff to do and all that in here. But for the most part, there's no story. It's just kind of setting, right? So, and I mean, somewhere in there is like a happy medium, right? Like I know that people don't want it one way or another. So I don't know what are your guys' thoughts on that as far as like the defining it and saying this is what it is. Does that make sense? I mean, are we on the same wavelength?
Yeah,
Who wants to go first? I just don't want to interrupt people. Because I've got plenty to say about this.
Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
Go, Jason, go.
Nothing,
you're wrong.
Sorry. No, nothing turns me off quicker than reading the description on the back of a book or a box set or a Kickstarter. As soon as I see the word emergent, I put it away. I'm done. If I wanted to write the story, I would be a dungeon master. That's not what I'm here for. I like my character to influence the world around him. I like for his actions to have repercussions, positive or negative. So I like that kind of emergent storytelling. But I don't like an empty town with nothing in it, and the DM's going to roll randomly to see what I run across. That's something that I was talking to Stan about. As a matter of fact, I think it was. I don't like edgelord. I don't like random encounters. I don't mind them every now and then, but I don't like it when the game is run by random encounters. For me, it breaks the immersion. Oftentimes, to me, those random encounters make no sense at all. For example, and I just remember Roger's my DM. He's the only game that I play in. We were playing a few weeks ago. We were playing Shadowdark, and we were returning from a dungeon or wherever we were. And Roger rolled randomly. An armored elephant appears on the horizon. Where the hell is this thing coming from? There are no elephants on these plains. That's not the kind of plains we're at. This is like New York. So where's this freaking elephant coming from? And the people that are inside this armored elephant, we're the only people here. That's a primary line of the story. So for me, it completely breaks all the illusion to that. So I really do not like that. The story is what I'm all about. So I'm mostly a storyline kind of guy. But like I said, I want my actions to influence the world around me. Otherwise, I'm a guy. I'm an actor playing a script, and that's not really what I'm here for. I want my DM to give me a world that is full of life and people and things to see and do, and then we go play in his sandbox. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I also hear like I think the other side of that, like I think the storytelling part is like I think you're sort of in the middle somewhere, I think, with that, where you're not, I mean, obviously, like that's what I'm hearing, right? Like obviously like a full sandbox, like where everything's randomly generated, that's that would be bad, but you also don't want like like Bear says, a dirty, filthy story gamer. And I don't even think Bear is this far, into like the storytelling thing where it's like, you're going to follow this story and go from, go from here to there. So,
I don't want to be led by the nose, but I like there to be options out there.
I mean, I think, so I think a happy medium is definitely, where a lot of people want to fall. I think it's hard. Like, nowadays, and I mean, I'm going to say 5.5, but that's only because that's the thing that's there, right? That's like the thing that we get. Like we don't get it modules anymore, right? Because they figured, we can't make money on modules, so they make these like quote unquote campaign settings or whatever, and it's just these huge kind of adventures that are sort of railroady, right? Because they have to be, like, because otherwise, you couldn't. You'd get halfway through the book and you'd be someplace else, if they left it open. Yeah. And so I think that's what people get used to because it's there. And so you get a lot of players that play these games that sort of are like, they look to the GM of like, oh, where are we supposed to go next?
Yeah.
Which is crazy,
Yeah. And that's that's one of the downsides of emergent play to me. Our table, the old group, not the group that we have now, there were times when out of frustration, I sat there and said nothing. And I told Roger what I was doing. I was like, dude, I'm done telling everybody where to go. I'm going to sit here. Someone else will step up and we will just go with them. And we sat there for 4 hours and no one's doing anything because no one can decide what they want to do. They were waiting for Roger to say, a band of orcs has appeared. Go do something.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's just as bad as being led by the nose. There's got to be somebody that's got to say something to make the world turn.
Yeah. And go. And I'm talking about the extreme end of it when I'm talking, I'm talking extremes when I say that. Obviously emergent storytelling is like, hey, there's a random encounter with an elephant, like Jason said, right? And maybe that's out of character, but now it's interesting. Like that part of it's interesting to me because now I need a reason that there was an elephant there.
Right.
So I have
not
to
just
come up
an
with
elephant, an armored
right,
elephant
with a war band. Right. So now, but now it's up to you guys. If you guys want to go out and say, oh, hey, let's go investigate this, this elephant. And maybe there's another, they brought some baby elephants over on a boat a few years ago and, they raised them here or something.
Well, then we need a ranger.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, now we're switching systems, so it's going to be a little bit different. But you know what I mean? So that's like, to me, like that's how the emergent kind of narrative, works. But all right. So I mean, yeah, Jason and I have been talking about this. So what do you think, Dan? Where are you at with all this?
I think you need both in like, certain varieties. I think emergent is good. I think emergent that has some sort of like verisimilitude or appropriateness to the setting, right? I'm fine with emergent when the random encounter tables are, you're going through the taiga and there's, potentially some moose, some hunters, maybe like, if you're near the ocean, you see like a whaler out there or whatever. But like, if you're going through the taiga and suddenly like 3 saber-toothed tigers show up, that's like, okay. But so I appreciate it when there's some like thought that goes into it. But I definitely like being able to, both run and play in a game where you can, like explore and do what you want to do. And maybe you follow some threads and not others. And there's consequences because of that. So, I was in Chubby's Gods of the Forbidden North for 4-ish months, was having a ton of fun with that. So I'm going to run it now using a better system than OSE. I'm going to use Hyperborea. So
where's the sign? Where's the
5e
sign?
sucks. Play Hyperborea.
No one said anything about 5e yet. So
there. Yeah, Brother Anselm, amen to that, brother. The Enterprise had a captain. The Empire had an emperor. A D&D party needs a caller. Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
The only issue with that is there is a fine line between a good caller and a dictator.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
emphasis on the dick. And I just had that experience recently at Egg.
And God knows we've talked about this at length. I am that guy. I catch myself being bossy, and I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to play their character.
Yeah.
I don't want to stand here in town waiting for the door to open. We've got to move.
Yeah, I mean, when I was at EggCon, some games, there's a lot of AD&D 1E, right? So some tables had callers, some didn't. I was in Alan Hammock's C2 game. Good time. One guy who I'm not going to name, Mark CMG, just wanted to be a giant ass and try to tell everybody what to do and what to buy and what to do, like quarterbacking everybody. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But no, I think I don't want to just have the dungeon master or the referee or whatever read from the book like this to me, right? As we were playing the game.
Oh God.
So what?
Yeah, I've been there. No, I'm having flashbacks.
Been there.
I also want to, avoid
you enter the room.
Right.
If the party searches, they will find a trip. Oh, I should have
if the party,
behind the desk. Oh, damn it.
Oh, wait, oops.
So like that, I definitely want to avoid. I also prefer to avoid the GM loading screen, right, where they're like, "Wait a minute, hang on," and then they got to catch up to where you are in the module or whatever. So I think some level of emergence is a good thing, and that's how I like to play. It's how I try to run my games. I think there's a good mix.
Paul's got a point about callers, cut the garbage players loose and get, and then if you got a group of good players, then you don't need a caller, right?
That's right.
I agree.
I don't know.
It's hard though. Man.
Also,
at least it is for us.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I mean, we're trying to get players that want to play something that isn't 5.5 or whatever. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, and I see your point, and I think if we can all have players that didn't need that, I think
well, don't go too much into that. You're going to spoil Friday's topic.
Yeah. So. Well, Matt, where are you in all this?
Well, I guess just to touch on what you were just talking about.
Sure.
Any cooperative game, you see this a lot in the board game space, especially, but any cooperative game is going to run the risk of having an alpha gamer that tries to take the game over or have the table run what they feel is the most optimal solution to whatever's going on. You played any cooperative board game, like probably have certain friends that are much more inclined to do that than others. And sometimes that's fine. And sometimes there's like a line that, you cross and it makes people feel uncomfortable.
Well,
there's
helping.
Why am I even
playing?
If,
and then there's,
why am I even playing if this person's just going to run everybody's turns basically? But the counterpoint to that, I can't remember if I told this on this stream before or not, and if I have, I apologize, but I was at a con where we were playing Mothership, and it was a 2-hour thing that the person running it had made up, and effectively what the scenario was Pandemic, the RPG, where there's these nodules on the ship and he's got a die that's ticking up, and each time it ticked up to 6, a monster would spawn and then it would reset. So, and there were certain ways to tick that die all the way down, and when it was gone, it would go away. So I'm like, okay, well, the table's going to figure this out. Surely somebody here has played some version of Pandemic. It's only one of the most popular board games that's been around for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And after an hour of wanting to bash my head against the table, it was finally like, guys, this is what we're doing. This is what the game is. It's Pandemic. You two go here, you two go here, and we're going to go here, and this is what we're going to do. Because it was either that or we were all going to die when 2 hours was up and just be frustrated. So I think for certain personality types, and Jason, I have the same problem sometimes, where if you sit at a table and it's like, I feel like the solution here is very obvious, and listening to you guys argue about this is growing exponentially more painful with every second that passes. It can be hard to not just say, guys, this is what we're doing. How do you it feels pretty obvious. So I do emphasize with that. I empathize with you there, but I think it's all just about trying to play in the lines. Like, how can you guide people to make the right decision without making it for them, which, sometimes can be difficult. But the other thing as you were kind of explaining your framework, so not to beat up on 5th edition, but we've talked a lot about how those hardcover books are just roller coaster rides, and they're, anytime I see a module that presents 3 options, like, well, these are obviously the only 3 things that could possibly happen in this situation. I know it's not an adventure for me. But that's interesting to me, because it's not like 5th edition doesn't have a lot of rules. 5th edition has a lot of rules. It creates a fairly robust framework for how a lot of things are supposed to work. so you could run 5e and not have it be a roller coaster. You can run a 5e sandbox regardless of what you think about 5e. You can certainly do that. But there's also games that are, when you talk about a storytelling game, there's also games that are straight up storytelling games that don't have that framework around the characters or combat or things like that. And it's more about the story. And there's then obviously even GM-less games where it's literally just, we're all just telling a story together, which is, I think, a different part of that calibration that you're talking about. And I don't think anybody on this, in this group is necessarily a fan of those kinds of games. I can be like once in a while. I think they're interesting exercises, but it's not the kind of game I'd want to play all the time because it feels too much like.
What was that the map making one? I've played that a few times. A year of peace or something. I forget
it's not. Is it
a quiet year? A quiet year, I think, is the name of it.
I think so. Yeah.
And it's like a map making card.
The Quiet Year
game. The Quiet Year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's kind of fun to play.
Yeah, there's like the Fall of Magic is another one. But like those games are interesting and they're cool, but they're not. I wouldn't want to play them all the time. I think because they feel too much like we're just playing make believe. There's not enough of a game. It's more of like a thespian exercise, I guess, than a game. It's like improv shows have rules, so they're sort of a game, but improv with rules is not Dungeons and Dragons. And so I don't know where you calibrate that, but I mean, I'm probably similar to my guess is where probably all of you land, which is the combination of those. Like we're talking about Gods of Forbidden North, right? That's probably that's the space I like to play in the best. And we've talked about this before. You know, the Dragonbane thing I've been running off and on is like I have a story that I played through a solo the Lichdom and created this backstory for this Lich by playing a solo RPG. So I have this story of this Lich, and then this thing happened a long time ago, and basically like an atomic bomb, basically the magical equivalent of an atomic bomb went off, and so this Lich is trying to come back, and he's luring the characters by controlling like people in the village to give them quests. And each quest that you do basically gets that clock closer to the Lich coming back. Now, if the PCs don't do it, someone else is going to. So it's the idea of like, there's a story, there's a sandbox, and then there's like propulsion. So is there a time that's ticking down where if the PCs do nothing and decide, hey, we want to open up a bakery and sell pies, like they can do that, and then after a month, the Lich comes back and kills everybody. Like, is there some kind of propulsion that's happening in the sandbox that is a story that is happening, whether the players take part in it or not? Kind of those are kind of the modules that I like the most, where there's this world, it feels like things are happening in it. They're not, the NPCs don't feel like they come to life the second you walk in the shop, and then as soon as you leave, they turn off and just stand there dead.
Like the T-posing.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So some version of that, which I guess is in theory in the middle between these two things.
It's funny you mention that, because that's exactly how Curse of Strahd is designed, with all of the locals like purposefully, like they don't have souls, and so they just keep doing like the repetitive thing, and so it makes it easy, right, for the GM, because none of these people have lives. So whenever you walk into the Blood and the Vine Tavern, the guy is polishing glasses, even if they're clean. Even if they're broken, he will sit there and and like polish the glass. And if you take a glass, like he'll pick up the empty air and he'll go through the motions and like just keep kind of doing it.
I call it's like Toy Story in reverse, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's they're completely, everything is completely lifeless except for when the PCs are there, and you can feel when something's created that way. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why I like settings that have like well-defined factions with goals. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's a really important part of making a game have, stakes and consequences and have a world feel like real.
So
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah. Dolmenwood, I think, is a giant emergent narrative sandbox just as it is.
Yep.
And then you need to, just like with the Arkham book and the Innsmouth book or any other like setting book, you need to place adventures around. Like you could travel, and I'm happy to do that, right? And like Dolmenwood, like
Oh yeah,
I don't have any problem whatsoever spending entire sessions just saying, let's go see what's in this hex. Like,
yeah.
What is this? Oh, it's a big gooey portal. Okay, cool. Let's write that down. Let's go to the next hex. What's in here? What's in here? Oh, let's go back to the gooey portal. Let's jump in it. Let's do some, ooh, a strange obelisk with people's names on it. Oh, guess what? Roger's writing his name on that shit.
Sure did.
That actually happened, by the way. The other players are like, there's an obelisk. It's like a white obelisk of chalk, and it's got like names carved into it. And I'm like, oh, can I borrow a chisel, guys? I want to put my name in there. And they're like standoffish with me now.
Like, I gave him the chisel.
I'm like, what? I just carved my name into the game. And I think so. So the reason I'm saying that, right, is because I think that's part of like the emergent narrative like thing is you need to have players that are into it, right? And somebody, I think it was the Eclectic Goat that mentioned having players that like spent like an hour deciding how to open a door or whatever. And it's like, and man, I really like hate that when that happens. And so generally if I'm in a game, like I'm the guy that'll just be like, okay, I'm kicking the door open. Or like I'm gonna do the crazy thing. So like, yeah, we're wandering around and there's this obelisk, and like, what are we gonna do? We're standing around staring at it, trying to figure it out. We can't. So like, okay, I'll carve my name into it and see what happens. And that now we know stuff. I don't know what we know. I know that I can rest in the chalk area or something. I don't even know what that means. But it gives me something that now I'm asking people as I'm going around. Hey, have you guys seen any chalk anywhere? Like,
yeah, I'm definitely the kick in the door guy too. When I'm playing, so
yeah, so
especially
definitely.
Games.
Well, right, con games you have to be, I think.
Right.
But I mean that, like, I think that's part of it. Like, I think you can only run, emergent narrative games, if like the players are actually going to be involved in it, or into that sort of thing, and be able to make decisions. There's some groups, there are some groups of players that are happy to play a railroad and cannot play anything else.
That's true.
Now Stan, I have seen Stan set up these huge miniature diorama things on his table, and there's been times where like he's never lifted the curtain on that because his players have gone a different direction. And dude, if I did that, man, I'd be railroading. Like, I don't care if I've got a dungeon set up and I spent 3 or 4 hours setting up that dungeon. If that group turns around and goes the other way, as soon as they walk into the tavern, they're inside that dungeon. Let me tell you. No, I mean, I'm not that bad with the whole ogre thing, but man, that's crazy.
So some of that stuff is prearranged, right? Like we've ended a session and they said, hey, we're going to explore this dungeon in the next session. And that's what we've made an agreement. That's what's going to happen. And I'm not introducing anything that would deviate from that. But there have been other times I put out stuff and that stuff was here and they went here. And I was like, I don't give a shit. And I never uncovered it. And they were like, for a whole campaign, they were like, what was under that thing? Don't worry about it. Not a big deal. I don't do and I don't understand it, I guess, or the appeal to it of like the random generation of adventure. Like, I'm not a fan at all. I mean, I like randomness, but like, I'm not going to sit there and just roll on tables. One, I think that breaks immersion. If you're sitting there rolling on a table, it's not something that just came out of you, I just don't. I mean, I like to work on stuff in between our sessions. That's part of the juice as being a game master for me, is like, and there's time, I talked about this in some recent videos that I did. There's times I work on stuff, I have no idea if we'll ever get to it. I'm just inspired to work on it, and I'll work on it. And but on the flip side of that, you never know when that stuff's going to come about, right? So we did a thing in my campaign. We had a prominent NPC get killed, and I planned. I prepped half that session because I knew they were going to go do certain things. I'm like, okay, the rest of the session I had nothing, and then when they got back with this, the body of this NPC, they were like, we need to get him resurrected, and I was like, oh, okay. And then, well, you can't do that here in this small town you're in. You need to go to the big city to do that. Okay. And then they go to the big city. And in the big city, which they've been to before, I had this idea forever about a gang of, in the Cast Crusades Monster Treasures books, there's were spiders. And I'm like, oh, there's a group of were spiders operating in the city outside of the Thieves Guild doing stuff. That's all I had. But I didn't have like this whole session, like anything in mind. So I was like, oh, you go to the jeweler shop and he's like cleaning up the shop. And you talk to him, and they talk to him, finds out he got robbed the night before. They start doing a little investigation. They find like the webbing residue. That ended up leading, like, I didn't plan any of that. Like, that was just based on their actions. And that led into, I don't know how many sessions we played, probably half a dozen at least, figuring out this whole thing. And that blew up into something way beyond whatever I imagined. So I don't like railroad my players. I kind of like equate it to like cooking spaghetti. I just throw shit against the wall and whatever sticks, adventure ideas. That's what we go with. Like we've had stuff in our game. Like I introduced like the Rod of 7 Parts, the old box set from, I don't know, second edition or whatever. And they were following along for that for a while. They got a couple pieces, and then, bad things happen sometimes when you get to pieces, and bad things did happen. And they were kind of like, I don't know if I want to do the rest of this. And for the longest, and I was like, I don't care. Don't do it. I'm not forcing you to do it. Things may happen if you don't, but they did. They got away from it for the longest time. And then all of a sudden lately they've been like, we might need some more of those pieces to face. Cause I do like a campaign big bad. And if they go towards them, great. If they don't, I'll come up with a different one. I have other ones in my game that I've thrown out. They just haven't latched onto it. And I'm like, that's fine. Don't. And they're onto this, yeah, that's how I like to do it. And as far as like you guys already touched on it, but I was going to mention it when we were talking about the collar. I've only played one game when we ever used a collar, and that was when we first started playing Call of Cthulhu, but it was online, and that was more of us having a lot of analysis paralysis, because in mass, as you take in so much information, like, because investigation is a huge part of Cthulhu, and with mass, it's massive, and we would kind of get stuck. So every night we'd pick a different collar, because we were getting a little bit of like analysis paralysis, and someone would just make the decision. But after a while, we didn't have to do that. What I typically do is what you guys were saying is, like, if I'm in a game as a player, and we're just sitting around with our thumbs up our asses, I usually play a character that's like, all right, enough of this, and I'm going to go do this. And I'll either tell the GM or slide them a note. Like I was in a session like that, and they were trying to come up with this like plan that was going to take months to execute. I'm like, what the frig? We need to get into that building. And finally, I just slid the game master a note and said, I'm going up, and I'm going to pick the lock, and I'm going to break into that building. And then the party noticed me up there, and then they're like, oh shit, like we got to go help, because I got caught and was fighting with people and stuff. So they were like, oh, we're going to go help. But it got us moving, and I hate sitting there doing nothing.
Same. Yeah, when I was at EdCon, I was in Angelo's 1E game, and there was one guy we were supposed to. It's called the Temple of Groomsh. First step should probably be to go into the Temple of Groomsh. There's this one dude that wanted to case the joint and observe it for 3 days, and after about an hour, I was sitting next to Angelo, and he just leans back to me and goes, "Just walk in the fucking door and kill the orcs, please." So
yeah,
like I was trying to
like. We were talking about like the big pre-written adventures. I think of like the Pathfinder Adventure Past, and people knock those. I think though those can be a great foundation, and and there might be some like agreement, like saying you might have players that want that, ba boom, ba boom. We got to do all this. If you don't, I think they can be a great foundation for a campaign. You just got to not be married to it. right? And
Well,
I say that all the time. Don't be married to your ideas. You don't have like use it as an outline. Like, okay, we're going to do this, but if something else in that interests you, and and it's kind of like you have the ability to run like a long-term campaign, go do that. Like maybe they want to, like if you're playing Pathfinder and they want to, they hear something in passing about a different area and they want to go there, let them go there for a bit. Excuse me.
Those
I
are
don't mind
so
those.
close to being great. If they were truly modular, where you could take like the third one and insert it somewhere as like a standalone adventure, they'd be awesome. But there's too many interconnections between
some
them.
of them, some of them have that. I haven't read all of them. I think they do a decent job of having like a timer or a countdown where like if the players just walked away from it, like things would still progress, on the end of like the bad guys to make it so that like the players have to get involved again.
I think some of them might I think do that. They give you a little bit of a timeline and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not as I say that I don't run them, but I do have a few of them just for reading and pull some inspiration from, because there's some cool stuff in there. I like the Pathfinder, the 1E Pathfinder world. Excuse me.
No,
but
I think they're
people
great.
get wrapped around the axle a little bit with that stuff, and I've just never understood. I've listened to a lot of people talk about like just randomly generating their game as they play, and I'm just like, I don't mind random stuff. I actually love when the party decides to go left instead of what I thought they were going to go right, and maybe I don't have anything prepared. But the thing, like I was alluding to earlier, like by sitting around in my free time working on stuff, you never know, like when that stuff, you can be able to just pull that out and be like, oh, this is the perfect spot for this, like I didn't know we were going to go there, but here we are. And my thought is, if you're just 100% random, like there's sometimes like you can do that and do it really well, but there's other times like you want to put some effort into like some thought into like this encounter. Like if they're going to face this guy, I don't want it to be like half-assed. Like this needs to be serious or whatever it needs to be. And I don't know, it's never really appealed to me.
Yeah.
I've played games where I've just made it up as we went and it was fine and everybody had fun, but I probably had less fun.
I think if and this is kind of to Dan's point too, but like I think if you're gonna run at a convention, like I think explicitly, unless you're saying on the tin, hey, this is gonna be a random, exploration thing. I think if like Dan says, the Temple of Grumsh, like
we need to go in the temple.
Like you're going to the temple. Okay, 1, 2, I'll say to Angelo, I'm sure he's not out here watching, but in case he is, like when you're running that at a convention, you start the players in combat with the orcs in the first room. Like, hey, you guys heard about all these riches and stuff at this lost temple, and you spent a week trying to find it, and you found it, and you're in the first room, and the orcs aren't happy that you're there. Roll initiative. Like, and that's how you start. That's my opinion.
Specifically at a con game, I agree. In this case, there were multiple ways to approach it. There were a couple entrance options, so I see why he did what he did. We just did not have a good person in the group for that sort of freedom.
Yeah.
So
some people are like they
stupid.
Like we said earlier, they can't function. They are dumb. I met a lot of them in my career. But no, I remember playing the one time I played 10 Candles. I don't know if anybody's ever played that.
Yeah,
but
I've heard of it.
We played it at the Crossroads, and I showed up there.
Spoilers, Jason hated it.
So I thought it was pretty interesting. I didn't show up there to play it. I think I was going to play Vason, but they ended up not having enough people. So we all kind of consolidated. And one guy, my friend Kirk, who ran most of our Call of Cthulhu stuff, he was going to run 10 Candles. So we all decided to play that. And I had a great time. There was one guy there, though, that he had showed up to play like D&D. And good guy, but not his type of game. To be put on the spot repeatedly to come up with stuff was not for him. He got through it. He played. He stuck it out. But I thought it was pretty interesting. Like I just the way, I don't want to spoil it if nobody's played it, but the way you start it and then the way you end it, I was like, oh, holy crap. Like that just really clicked with me. I'm a big horror fan anyway. So I was like, I really felt like I was at the end of it in like a horror movie. And I was like, oh shit. It was really cool. I've only played it once, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want to try that, and I want to try Dread.
Nims, I'll get to your. We'll talk about your question in a little bit. I just want to finish up with some of this stuff. Yeah,
we've
Dread.
played 10 Candles before.
Yeah, so really? Dread I think is a better game for it. So 10 Candles is the game where you light 10 candles, and everybody writes down 2 qualities on index cards. Yeah. You pass one to the left and one to the right, and then you burn them as you use them, and then every round a candle burns out, and that many less dice that you roll, and all of that. So it's an interesting kind of storytelling sort of game that's going to end in doom, at some point. It's not for everybody. I get it. It's not something that I want to play regularly either, but
I mean
once
it's a
in a
good
while,
one shot, obviously you're not playing a campaign of it. I have my friend Chris that I game with, like his family, like they do a lot of camping in the summer, and they'll sit around at night, which really adds to it, and they'll play it. And like the kids, they have no interest in playing. Like they bailed on like when we were playing D&D and other role playing games, but they love like 10 Candles, Call of Cthulhu. They like that because of the horror element. They're actually into that stuff. So
yeah,
pretty cool. I mean, again, it wouldn't be something I want to play every week, but
Dread is fun. I went looking for that recently and couldn't really find it. I don't know if it's POD somewhere, but I didn't see it like anywhere really for sale, like to just buy the book. You could buy the PDF, but yeah, it's interesting. It's different mechanics, for using, for doing different things, and like for the spookiness thing, like putting a candle out every round sort of gives you like a countdown, and it's getting darker, I mean, so it kind of helps with the ambiance, if you will. And then the Jenga thing, obviously, every time you pull one, it's like the first few things are easy and it gets, scarier and scarier. And, so it's,
and the Jenga thing, you can actually adapt to other RPGs too, which is cool.
Yeah. Right. So yeah. And, on what we were talking about, I'm trying to think like, we've run a lot of games with, we've played a lot of games with Matt's, and I'm trying to think how he ends up doing most of that stuff. You've mostly started us like already on the adventure, right? Like we've never really, I don't remember ever playing in one of your games where it's like, okay, you guys are in town, you hear about this old tower, what do you guys do? And then we spend an hour shopping.
No, I mean, they're also all con games, right? So yeah, it's but no, I think I learned that fairly early on running con games. Even the ones that have that, it's like, no, we're just gonna fast forward past that. I think it's boring for everybody, and I think sometimes, like you guys said, you can get bogged down in it, and then an hour has gone by, and it's like you haven't rolled any dice yet or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not fun for anybody. So.
I have a physical copy of it, Paul. I was looking for a second copy to give to somebody.
It looks like it's
that's looking for it.
It looks like it's not in print right now. I was just poking around after you asked. You can find copies, but it doesn't look like they're for sale. New ones.
So if you've got an old physical copy or whatever that you don't need or whatever, I'd love. I gave him the PDF, but I mean, it's just nice to have a physical book. Especially the book is so cool. Even though there's like. It's like 0 on it, you know what I mean? But the way that it looks like a bloody hand is holding the book, it's just I don't know. It's just really cool. So fun times. Yeah, and Shellback, you ought to be populating factions, then building random encounter tables from the resources of factions within the area local flora fauna. Yes, yep. I agree. I agree. I'm also bad at that, especially with running Shadow Dark. I've been doing that. I've been running the Shadow Dark random tables, which has a lot of random stuff in there. I mean, the elephant was way out there, as Jason put it. Like, I agree with that. But there's been like some cool stuff in there that wouldn't have normally happened. Like they met Horatio, the swordsman, and he lived a very short life, but there's like that was kind of cool, that you wouldn't find on a normal, random table or something. So, but yeah, that's the way you should do it, is sort of faction out the area and then have random tables for that. So NIMS, looking at a title for DM for kids my age, furnished campaign that have a story, but all they do is attack each other. How do I stop them from doing that? And ask why my campaigns have no story. Oh man, get a new group. No, so it's hard, right? Like I think Paul had a great idea earlier about putting a rubber mallet on the table and not telling anyone what it's for. I mean, look, I think you really need to explain to the players ahead of time and say, look, this game is about cooperatively exploring or doing this thing. You know what I mean? Like, here's this goal. The goal is to explore, or the goal is to kill the pirate king, or slay this dragon, right? Which we're not going to do until a year from now or whatever, right? And even if that's not the thing, and they change directions, like, it doesn't matter, right? You give them a cooperative goal and say, look, you guys can't do this unless you're working together, type of thing. And I mean, on the other side of that, there are people that don't want to take the game seriously. I mean, there are people that just want to screw around and they want to play thieves and they want to try and, pickpocket from everybody else at the table and all of that. And I mean, this, it's difficult.
How old is this? How old is this person?
I'm guessing pretty young.
15,
it's
16?
What he's experiencing isn't uncommon.
Yeah.
You just got to nip it in the bud and hey, this is how it's going to be, or
we're not. Yeah, you just got to lay down the law. Be like, hey, your job as a player is to make a character that wants to go on an adventure with these other characters. Go. If you can't do that, then find something else to play.
Yeah. You really got to make that as like on the tin of, hey, this is the thing, to do. And I mean, I get it. Like, player versus player is like a thing, but there's a lot of people that don't want to play that game. There's some people that do. Yeah, right. There's some people that do, and there's nothing wrong with that if everybody likes that. But if you're running a game and you want to run this adventure and everybody's, especially if they're complaining that there's no story, I get it, man.
Yeah.
I really, it's difficult. Matt, you run for some kids and stuff. And I mean, you ran for my daughter and her friends and all that. I don't know. They seem pretty on task though for you. I mean,
well, I mean, part of it is if you have a mix of kids and adults, I think sometimes that helps keep some of that stuff in check. Or if it's like all kids, it can be a lot harder for sure.
Yeah. Even Goat says, if they're complaining about story, that's I mean, I think you got to lead with, hey, this is going to be this game. This is the story that it's going to be. Right. And maybe you need to, not push towards, don't do a complete railroad, but you want to go more towards, hey, here's this story that you guys are in, you know? And I think that'll help, and make it so that they have to work together. You know what I mean? So, okay. Eclectic Goat is talking to herself now. I think I don't, I'm confused. So yeah, I don't know. I hope that helps. Please, ask follow-up questions if you like. We're here, Chthonic mentions for longer games, more open to character motivations like domain play, shorter campaign, 12 sessions or less. Like keep the main conflict to be more parent focused. Absolutely.
I think 100%. Yeah, that's reasonable.
The shorter the game is, the more railroady you have to be right? To get to the end.
Because you want to be on, like if we said it earlier, like if you're playing like an adventure, I think there's some level of cooperation that needs to happen between the game master and the players. Like, you explain it ahead of time. We're going to play, whatever, and the goal is to get through whatever, right? So yeah, don't run off to fucking, the opposite direction just on a whim. Like, the goal is to get through this adventure. Now, if you're in a more open campaign, you're not running like pre-written material or stuff. I mean, you can, like the way it's in my games, the guys latch on to what they latch onto. And I mean, yeah, I'm throwing stuff out there and giving them hooks or whatever, or reasons to be interested in things. Some of it comes from, oh my God, their backstories and, God forbid. And, yeah, but it's up to them. Like, I'm not telling them, like, the things that my guys are dealing with now, if they suddenly decide they don't want to deal with that stuff anymore, I'm not going to make them. Like, some things will happen, but it's a living world. So if they don't put an end to it, well, things will happen. So it's completely up to them. They don't have to.
I think, on the kids thing, they should mostly play at Boy Scouts, mostly try to keep campaigns alive for long, but not too long. How do I keep them hooked? Man,
that's rough.
You can honestly straight up ask them what they're interested in.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? And if they're like, oh, we want to fight giants or we want to battle a demon, great. Yep. Now I know what I'm putting in the game.
Yep. Then make an adventure where they're battling a demon. 100%.
Yeah. I still think the old, and we talked about this a few times before, the old D&D idea of having a whole bunch of 16 or 24 page adventures, and then like you just dangle 3 out there.
Yep.
And they just decide which one they want to do, and then you give them a new third one, and they just keep rotating through. Is an easy way to do that. That's so much easier than, all right, guys, for the next 3 years, we're playing this 250 page book. Like that is a guaranteed way to lose people's interest. You run shorter. Those like two to 4 session adventures, you conclude it, you're on to the next thing. I think that's a much better way to do it.
I was going to say start with Curse of Strahd and try. Don't
start with that.
Don't start with this.
Well, it's interesting, right? Like I think at the start of the whole thing, maybe try something different. Like, I think what Matt says is a great idea, right? Hey, have 3 modules out there and say, hey, which one do you guys want to run? Even if you get the PDFs and then print out the cover pages, you know what I mean? And say, and here, pick one. And they say, this is what we're going to run next week. But I think some of that, I think if you get the players in a mindset of they have to work together to get through this, like a great scenario, don't start them all in a tavern. Start them all chained to a wall, like somewhere in a cell or something. And then it kind of makes it so that if they want to get out, they have to work together. Right. Or something like that. And that might trigger like, oh, now like, hey, we got to work together to get through this. And then once they do that, they might realize, oh, well, let's not kill each other as soon as we get out of here. You know what I mean? Well, like, let's do, something different, and actually work together. I don't know. It's hard, but yeah, I think like what Matt says, like getting them to run what they want, get them to play what they want to play, could help. All that stuff, can be on their side, to help them do it. But I mean, I think you're always going to have players that are going to want to watch the world burn, and they're going to do whatever they can to do that. And I mean, those players, they're not a great fit for your game. And, you got to say, you got to talk to those people and say, get the, you gotta talk to these people and say, listen, if we're trying to do this thing where everybody works together, and you get one player on your side first, you know what I mean? And then hopefully that'll domino. But That's my opinion.
That is a valuable lesson when you're a new GM, is you have to learn that you're not going to want to game with everybody that plays the game.
Mm-hmm.
And gatekeeping your table is okay.
It's your table.
It's your table.
I thought gatekeeping was bad.
Gatekeeping your table is perfectly fine. It's impossible to gatekeep someone from the hobby because I can't control what someone buys. But I do control what I spend my recreational time doing and who I do it with. And I'm going to do it with people that share similar interests and goals and that sort of thing with me and want to have fun.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
it's also the thing of like, if someone is doing something stupid and dies, are you giving them a new character 5 minutes later, or do they have to sit there and watch everyone else have fun for 2 hours?
Yes, Matt. I give Jeff a new character every Monday when he dies in Hyperborea.
Like I just was at a little convention on Sunday and we were playing Shadow Dark. I had never played it, that Minotaur introductory one that Kelsey wrote. I'd never played it, so I was like, sure, I'll play that. Sounds fun. And there was a player there that was the thief who just decided halfway through, I want to sneak out and just F the party. I'm out of here. And he gave him some pretty clear warnings, like this is a bad idea. And then, he got intercepted by the Minotaur. And I guess he must have played 5e or something because he thought he was going to be okay and took 10 damage. And now his new character name was Stuff on a Wall. And like, and that was it. And he's just like, oh, like, do I get? And he's like, no, you don't get any death saves. You're by yourself. You like snuck off and you got murdered by the boss. Like, I'm not sure what you thought was going to happen, and it's like, okay, then like that was his adventure, and the rest of us got to keep playing. So if you reward people for their bad decisions by just giving them a new character, you're not teaching them a lesson, right? So if you can allow people, you can give them some. I think it's always good to warn people that the decision they're making is bad, especially if they seem to not understand that. But if they insist on doing it, let them do it and then they don't get to play for a while. So
I have seen the light. Jeff, if you are watching, that one I just gave you the PDF of on Monday, moments after you died, the last time, brother. Stop doing dumb. Thank you.
Like Chthonic Musing says, you don't always have to come out of the forest with the same number of Boy Scouts you went in with. That's got to be some kind of life advice.
I thought I heard, but I don't remember the answer. Did anyone ask Nims how old he is or how old his group is, the players?
I did,
I know Boy Scouts, so I figured 12 to 18.
15, I think 15, 16. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I haven't said anything because I feel like everyone is offering good advice. And this is going to sound rich coming
even
from
me,
because God knows I'm about the least patient person on the planet with this sort of thing. Your kids, and that includes you, and that's not an insult. Have patience. I was incredibly hyperactive as a kid, and I still am. When I get excited about something, nothing slows me down. It's extremely hard for me to sit still. In fact, if you're actually watching this instead of listening, you will see me fidget all night long. I cannot sit still. So remembering what I was like when I was first started playing D&D, I was 11. I was one of those kids that was always messing around. Everybody in the group was messing around. And then when I started running, everybody was still messing around. Lean into it. If they want to run around and do dumb stuff, if everybody's having a good time, you're doing it right. That doesn't mean sacrifice your fun for everybody else, because then you're just going to be miserable. You're going to
part of that. Everyone that has to have fun.
Yes, you have to have fun as well. But instead of approaching it as this is a serious business for me, and you people need to take it seriously because I am that guy, and you run a real risk of driving away players. Done it. You run a risk of burning out as a DM. Done it. And you've run a risk of not wanting to play anymore. Done it. So go easy on yourself and go easy on your group. Having said that, if these guys aren't taking it seriously, play with other people that are not part of your Boy Scout group. Go find other players. Go find older players. People that I am not saying I want to play with you, dude. I don't want to play with kids. See? That's what I'm talking about. But go find people that are older, that are more mature, that can sit there and take the game seriously and think about what they're doing. And it'll give you a different perspective on what it's like to DM for those people. And you will learn a more mature level of playing that way. But when you're playing with the Boy Scout troop, maybe go easy and just take the ball and run with it. Have a good time with it. That's what I got.
I didn't want to ask, Goat. I'm not sure I want to know. Yeah,
that was really good advice, Jason, despite the fact that I'm skeptical that it's advice you would follow if the situation was reversed. But it was really good advice.
Yes, but also I'm not playing with a bunch of 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
When the 30-year-old sitting next to me can't take it seriously for 5 minutes, away with you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, and on that, right, to kind of add to what like Jason was saying, like maybe like I don't know what you're running. I assume you're running 5.5 or whatever. Maybe try running. Well, I was gonna suggest like run DCC.
Yes.
Dungeon Crawl Classics.
That's a good idea.
Because
that's a
over
little the top.
That's a little out there. It's a little gonzo, and so the players can screw around and do that, and they might be into that, and it might help to sort of rein them in by allowing them to do a little bit of.
That's a good call too.
That's a great idea.
Stuff,
it amps them up even more.
Well, right. I mean, and that's dependent on the group.
Yeah,
I mean, you could.
Then you lean into
it.
At that point.
Whoa. They all want to do Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. I mean, there you go. I mean there's a
okay. Yeah.
Gonzo
Seriously,
BX.
You got that, dude. If they
that sounds like a great time.
You play that.
Yeah. I mean, if they're a young group like you, and they don't want to play 5th edition, they want to play something else. Yeah. Latch onto that. Play some good games.
An eclectic goat. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Support the indie gamers. Yeah.
I take back everything I said. Keep these guys and keep playing with them.
Yeah, right. What are you doing? Oh. Do it. So it seems like they want to lean in. Maybe they'll be happier leaning into the Gonzo and be less destructive to each other if they can be,
self-destructive.
crazy to everybody else. It's self-destructive.
Yeah. If Neon Lords is perfect for you, man. No kidding.
Here's the big question. Do you want to run Neon Lords of the Toxic Wastes? Like, is that your jam or is that too gonzo? So, that's, that's a big thing because, it's hard for me, right? I'm the GM all the time. Well, I want to keep players happy and all of that, but also you got to remember that the GM is also a player in the game.
Yeah,
and that sounds like a conversation that you and I had just.
Yeah, it is.
Monday morning, I believe.
Right. So, I mean, and it's true though, right? Like, I mean, the GM is a player in the game and needs to be able to enjoy it. I mean, you can't just, serve on the behest of the players. I mean, the GM has to be able to enjoy what he's doing, and I enjoy running. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I mean, there's some games that I don't run. Like I'm not going to run a Bushido samurai based, game, or a Western or what, like, and that's much to Jason's dismay. But like, not liking it and not really being super into it, I don't think I would make a good game. I don't think I'd run a good game of that for Jason anyway.
Yeah.
To Shellback's point, Arduin.
Yeah.
Or Barrows and Borderlands.
B&B or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nims looks like he wants to run it, man. So I think the problem has been solved.
Yeah. The book for free. Jesus, I had to buy mine. Boo. What do I get booed because I don't want to run a game that I don't want to run? Jeez.
Well, as much as I would love to play Bushido, I think I would probably want to kill everybody at the table. So perhaps it's best that we don't do that, because Bushido is one of those games that I would take way too seriously, and I would be annoyed at the players that didn't. So yes, let's not do that.
No, that's definitely a game,
and I will continue to admire it.
And we've talked about like having, the paladins or like the devout, worshipers of whatever god or whatever running around in a D&D game and like being, okay, you have to follow these tenets and like all of that. And like, that's the same way with, like Bushido or whatever, where it's like, here's these guidelines that you kind of have to follow, like being a, no,
only if you are playing.
All right,
samurai.
I mean, whatever.
There are many classes.
Oh, I didn't know if there were different. I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you're going to play Bushido, you should play a samurai, of course.
I assume that was the lore of the game, like that we wouldn't sit down to play Bushido and there's 6 gunfighters at the at the table, gunslingers or whatever.
They do actually have early flintlock type fires.
Yeah, but I mean, I would assume that the group, the players would be
right.
At least that's how I would run it. Maybe that's why I'm not running it. I don't know.
No, there are several classes, not just samurai or bushi as there.
Yeah,
but anyway,
ultra hunter, you got to pay attention. Pay attention. We can't.
He can't. He tries really hard. Love you, Hunter. Hunter's a good dude.
Anyway,
yeah,
that's what I got.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
we played in
Nims, I really
together.
Sincerely hope that you will stick with it and you guys can find a game that you will all enjoy. I think Neon Lords is going to be good for you.
I think the important thing is we should ask Nims is when he starts running Neon Lords, is he going to run it as a sandbox emergent style gameplay or more as a story game?
Ooh, yeah, please tell us. Tell us how you plan.
That'll get us back on track.
Plan to do that. Paul says, yeah, good to be aware of your shortcomings. I feel that some of that's a dig, but would be very picky with games that require actual role play and forces of code of conduct. Pendragon, L5R, etc. Yeah, I've got some things that I just wouldn't run. Like I'm just not into like the history of it or certain certain genres or whatever. So I wouldn't run it. I don't feel like I'd be okay running it. Pendragon maybe.
I think you'd be fine with
Pendragon. But that's it. I don't really have an interest in L5R that's for other reasons. Yeah. So that's
Chubby requests our entertainment. He only has a few minutes.
Chubby,
Roger,
whoa, jeez.
What do you say? We
do you
burned down the Dolmenwood on Saturday.
Yes.
Fix that problem.
Let's burn it down.
Hell yeah.
Let's burn it down. Listen, I'm beholden to the chalk god now, so he's my new Lord and Savior. So
I'm glad that actually you're in that game, so you can do the dumb shit that I would normally do, so I can witness the outcome and then go decide if it's a good idea for me to go back to that hex and do it.
I'm just trying to, figure things out and move the game forward. Mm-hmm. Like Same. That's, I think that's important, especially in like an emergent narrative game. You forgot to tell me about my chalk dreams. Okay, cool. We could cover that. We can cover that later. We'll just pretend I don't tell anybody about them. But yeah, like I think it's important in emergent narrative games, like as a player, get into the narrative, get into what's going on. Even if there isn't like a narrative per se, figure things out, throw things out there, because whatever you say, like the GM might, appreciate, when you start thinking, hey, here's this, this elephant thing. Right. And like, maybe Jason's like comes up with some crazy idea of like, maybe, they're actually from India and they came through like some, portal or something. And I mean, that's crazy, but like, something like that, you might get an idea and say, oh yeah, maybe there's like a rift, somewhere, and these guys just kind of wandered through it or something. And now that's like another thing is like, oh, now you got to go talk to this wizard and figure out how to get this scroll to, to seal this rift, before it like gets bigger and like, a Tarrasque comes through, or something crazy, I don't know. I mean, I think that's like important to try and, lean into that. And that's why in like Chubby's game, like I'll try and lean into some of that stuff. Like how many hexes can we go in, and like see this cool stuff. And then it's like why bother if you're not going to interact with it? Like we're just going to write it down and move on. Like let's touch it and make it part of the story. So now there's this whole thing with like chalk, chalk time. I mean, and I got to start bringing that up more. You know what I mean about chalk, guys. This food tastes chalky to me. Does it taste chalky to you? Things like that, and I think it'll freak people out. But I think it adds to that. Yeah, I know. I told her a week, and then we've been gone for more than that. But whatever. Yeah, so that's that. Nims, put them all in a jail cell, have them break out together. Yeah, and go after the government of Detroit Prime, taking them. Yeah, no, I think that's great. I think putting them together and seeing how they work together to get out is definitely a good idea. This is a horrible idea. Don't ever do that. And by that, I mean run paranoia. Don't even do it. Don't even buy the book. Don't even do it. It's not even. Don't even do it.
You don't like Friend Computer?
Just don't do it. No, I don't know.
Is it terrible?
I don't like the game. I don't know. I just don't like the game. Maybe it's the people that I knew that tried to run it or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's not a game for me.
I've never
Maybe
played
it's a game for you.
It sounds interesting. I would be interested in playing it with the right group of people.
Maybe that's what I need to do is play it with the right group of people. Yes, you go back to your family.
Greg, blink 3 times really hard if you need us to send help.
If you need us to send, yes, yeah, we'll send
Yikes.
Jeff. We'll send.
So I wanted to ask you. We were talking. You were talking earlier about random encounters. Have you ever?
Yeah, this is why. This is the problem. I'm sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
This is the problem. Paranoia is the best example of adversarial DMing. Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, you're playing an adventure where the DM is an unreliable narrator, I guess.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't like it. I apologize for interrupting.
No, it's fine. It's your show.
It tweaked my eye. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you've talked about fudging rolls and stuff like that on here at all at any point. I generally don't do that. The only place I will do that is with random encounters. I will totally cop to the fact that if I'm running an adventure and there's a random encounter table and one of them is like, ooh, this will be perfect to happen right now, I'll just make it happen. I don't know what you.
I've done that occasionally.
I don't know if that's like bad form or whatever, but
no.
Do that.
Yeah,
I've done that occasionally if things don't make sense. Like I said, with Shadow Dark, I've been kind of leaning into the tables just because there's a bunch of cool stuff I think in there. So I've like tried to make that work. But yes, if there's like an adjacent option or whatever that like fits what's going on better, then yeah, absolutely. But but as far as fudging rolls, like I never, I roll out in the open. I would never fudge rolls.
Yeah, I just figure with a random encounter, nobody else knows what that 3 means anyway. So it's like they don't know that. Right. Yeah, they don't know that Saxabu, the interdimensional merchant, was.
I don't know.
To show up on.
I don't know because Jason pays attention, and if I roll a 3 in the grasslands, and then the following week I roll another 3, he's gonna say, "Oh, that's 1d6 goblins." Like,
I will not do that. That is not true. But if the elephant pops up again, I'm gonna want to know what the hell's going on.
It's the same elephant.
Yeah,
it's the same elephant. No, you're right. I I think definitely to fit like the story or the hex that you're in or whatever's going on. I think it's it's perfectly fine to fudge the random encounter rolls. And I wouldn't say that you necessarily even need to roll the random encounter, like if you think, hey, this encounter should happen here, then I mean, just do it.
Yeah.
I don't consider that fudging.
If I'm running road work for Mothership, you're going to end up in the buddy dimension no matter what I'm rolling, because that dimension is by far the most memorable part of that entire module. And I would just feel bad not letting people experience it when they play it.
Right.
So you're going to the buddy universe no matter what. All the other ones will be whatever I roll, but at some point in the middle, you're going to the buddy universe. So
yeah.
No,
that's cool. That's cool.
I have rolled to determine that there's an encounter, and then instead of rolling to see which encounter it is, I've selected one.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
I will always roll it just to see what it comes up with. And then if I could like fit it in my head, like I'll go with it. Or if it's something crazy, I'll just be like, yeah, fuck it. That's what it is, you know? But yeah, if it's not right or whatever, yeah, I have just picked one.
Yeah, I mean, I've also like run a module, right? Maybe not read it as closely as I should have, and realized, oh, that's a stupid random encounter for this terrain or biome or whatever, and then decided, nope, that's dumb. We're doing something else.
Shellback, yeah, the random encounter tables are like the pirate code.
Yeah,
they're more like guidelines. Absolutely. Yeah, and Rooster, you know, how about when the players are riffing, speculating? I love that when the players are speculating.
Oh,
because when the players are like, I wonder if that deformed orc got deformed because of some radioactive meteorite that came down. And I'm like, I'm thinking like, no, I just screwed up when I print the mini and like all that. now there's definitely a radioactive meteor somewhere. You know what I mean?
That's a very that you're spot on with that. I've definitely had that happen before.
Oh,
where players are speculating. You're like,
almost every session.
That's a way better idea than what I had.
So, as an example to that, Rooster, he's one of the guys I play with.
Yeah.
And I was running an adventure, and they were in a Yuan-Ti temple. And they go into it, and there's this fountain, and coming out of the fountain is blood. And the next hallway is chock-a-block full of traps, which they've already tripped a couple of. And I had some lame ass idea that like at the far end of that hallway, I had described a statue down there. And behind that statue was a lever, and it shut off all the traps. Well, they didn't find it. They hadn't found it yet. So they're kind of contemplating on what to do. And Rooster's like, I'm going to take a bit of that blood that's in the fountain. I'm just going to put it on my forehead and see what happens. And I was like, because there was another fountain just like it at the other end of the trapped hallway. And I was like, oh, that's a way fucking better idea than what I had.
Oh, yeah.
That absolutely will shut down all the traps.
Yeah.
And that's what I went with. So, yeah, that all came from him. He just didn't know it at the time. He knew it before this. But
he knows it now.
I was like, he knew it before because I did a video about it or something. And then I mentioned, he's like, I think it was like years later. He's like, holy crap, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, that was your idea, not mine. But yeah, it's just they come up with. I love when that happens, and I think it's funny because my guys, I mean, they know we're all, we're listening and stuff. So I mean, I've had players like be like, "Hey, maybe we should stop talking," because they're like talking about all the awful things that could happen to them if they do X, and they're like, one of them's like, he's listening to us, So it's like it's not like this might not happen. So I was like, yeah, no, it's true. I'm keeping a list.
Yeah. A lot of the emergent stuff in the campaigns I run is when Tomorrow Dan has to come up with reasons to, work on or prepare for the things that running the game Dan pulled out of his ass in the middle of the session.
Yeah.
So that one's real good. The hell did I say? Oh yeah. Okay. We could do something with that.
Brother Anselm. Any suggestions how to find and fund indie games other than rando searches on Kickstarter? What resources do you rely on? Nice stream, guys. Great job as always, Roger. Wow, thank you very much. Obviously, the first suggestion is just back everything in the games category under.
Don't do that.
What?
That's horrible advice, by the way.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't even do that. I mean.
Really?
But no, I don't back everything. No. So
almost.
Yeah, I think backing things and following a bunch of people on Kickstarter and BackerKit helps because you'll definitely feed their algorithm. and then every time something gets listed under tabletop gaming, you will get a notification, that says, "Hey, so and so just listed this thing." It's hard. I think, like, if you're on Facebook, follow all of the indie game groups, get into some of the local groups. Like, I don't know if there's a whole lot on like the CNY Facebook group or the CNY Discord. I'd like to start getting, topics and discussing things. But and follow us. Look, we talk about a lot of stuff when we talk about, what games we like and all that stuff. And maybe we'll do maybe we should do like an episode every now and again about, our favorite upcoming Kickstarter games or favorite upcoming, or look at upcoming stuff and, go from there. Or like what's is it itch.io? Like that's got a ton of indie content on there that's like free or low cost.
On BackerKit you can, because there's more and more RPGs coming to BackerKit. You can follow people and see what they back. So you'll get a notification. There's certain creators that I know back lots of stuff that are similar to the things that they make that I liked. So then I'll just see, such so-and-so back this and this and this. And then I'll know, okay, let me check those projects out. So that's one thing I recommend.
Yeah. And go to small game conventions and look at like the smaller games and stuff that are being run too. Because a lot of people, I think, run some smaller indie games.
Yeah, I think you kind of got to treat it like a video game review or a movie review. You got to find like, people who like know the byline, right? Like when he was alive, I tended to jive pretty well with Total Biscuit and like the kind of games that he liked to play, right? So when he really liked something, I was fairly confident I was going to like it. And if he didn't like something, I was fairly confident I was going to like it. So if you can do that.
Good shout out.
Yeah. Miss you, TB.
Miss TV.
But like it's the same thing like with YouTube. Like there are certain YouTubers I'm not going to trust a single word they say. If they take money to do a review and they just have their hands on the screen the whole time and I know they didn't run it, I'm not going to give a damn about what they had to say. So you can use your imagination to fill in who that might be. But like people that actually have an in-depth analysis of something. Like I discovered Gods of the Forbidden North because of Chubby Funster's videos, and then I happened to get into his campaign and it was great, and now I'm going to wind up running it. So just pay attention to who is recommending it and follow things from thank you, Paul.
I just real quick, one of the things that I loved about TB, and I was similar, I was like 95% aligned with what he said something was going to be good, I'd probably like it.
Yep.
And the things that he said, there were genres he liked that I don't like, and I know that, so I know I can just ignore those.
Right.
But one of the biggest things for me with a reviewer is, do they do reviews where they say something sucks, like this is a pile of shit?
Yeah,
and
right.
So there's a lot of people in the gaming space where every video they make says this is the best thing ever. Yeah, board games, RPGs. It's the same you see with like food influencers. Every place they go is the best food they've ever had. Like if you know that person's a shill, like there's no way you live your life. You don't like everything, right? So, and I don't buy the whole thing of, well, I only cover content that are things that I like.
No, that's
I don't buy that. Like Tom Vassal on the Dice Tower reviews 70 million games a year, and he shits all over a whole lot of them. And
he does.
I think as a reviewer, it's valuable for your audience to know what things are good and what things are bad, not just to guide their purchases, but to calibrate yourself with what they like and see if you jive with that or not. So that's my big issue with the RPG space, especially, is most of the reviewers out there, like they like everything. They say everything's good, and it's like, well, I know you're not being honest. So,
yeah, that's like us. We're pretty happy about everything that we've played.
I'll go find 10 games right now on my shelf that I fucking hate.
On your shelf, no less.
Yep. I don't think we've complained about any game out there, right? We're pretty. We shit on games that we like.
True. That's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I like
No,
Shadow
no,
Dark. Let me tell you all the
that's true.
things that piss me off
That's
about
true.
it.
Yeah, no, it's true, right? Like, and so, and that's something, that you gotta look at too. But yeah, Matt is right. Just to kind of jump on that, when you start watching game reviewers, you'll find a game reviewer where you can say, oh, okay, this guy likes what I like. And then you could go there and say, oh, okay, he's reviewing this game. Fast forward to the end of it. What did he give it? Oh, an 8 out of 10. Okay. I and then you could buy that game and you could pretty much be confident that it's pretty good. Unless it's their own game and then run. But what? It's great for random tables.
One thing I will say about Ben Milton is because this just came up on something I was listening to on the drive home. Brad Kerr was talking about the Ennies. I don't know if you looked at the Ennies from 2026. I mean, I'm pretty into this hobby. I was like, what are these products? Like there were so many things on there that I'd never heard of before, more than I think any other year. But so Brad won an Ennie for Dream Shrine. And they were asking him, well, did you get a big bump from Dream Shrine? And he's like, or from the for Dream Shrine from the Ennies. And he's like, I mean, not as big as you'd think. He's like, the bump I got from Questing Beast covering something of mine compared to the Ennies was like 100 times bigger. So for what it's worth, like it is cool when he covers something good, that is by a creator you like, just know that at least that creator is getting a huge bump in interest in their product.
Yeah.
So at least there's that.
No, and I've got nothing really bad to say about Ben. I think his videos and his reviews, I think they're genuine. I think there's been some times where he's been sent stuff, where he's helped out buddies and things like that.
I don't think he reviews things. That's my thing. It's
a first impression.
He pages through a book and tells you what's on the pages.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
you can't review something if you haven't played it.
No, that's true. That's true. That's right. But
anything else is the first impressions.
I'll agree with that. Sure. Yeah, and Paul, that's like I think there's been some paid reviews and stuff there that he's done too.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I will say, so I like Quinn's Quest, right? So. Quinn's Quest, he only covers stuff that he really likes. Now, if you're going to make an 1.5 hour long, high budget review of something that you've played a campaign for, I think it makes sense that you're only doing that for products that you really like. But he's also only doing Hobbit Fingers, Jesus Christ. He only makes like 8 videos a season or whatever. I think there's a big difference between that and they're like almost mini documentaries about that RPG as much as it is a review versus someone that's churning out a weekly review or multiple reviews a week. So
Sure. Yeah. And maybe I don't know what you guys in the chat think or what you guys think, but like I think every week, whatever, like when we're doing the show and tell and stuff, if you guys have an indie RPG that you really like or something that you've played, maybe if it's not something, like show and tell, we just got it in, you know what I mean, type of thing. Like, and there's a game you want to talk about and say, hey, this is a great game. I mean, do it, right? Like, let's talk about it, because people want to know, if we can sell some games for people, or if we think things are good. I mean, obviously we're not always going to agree on things, but
Oh, I think we sold a whole shitload of supplements 2 Fridays ago.
Yeah, I know. Grouch Couch, solo RPG stuff. But, a lot of that solo RPG stuff, like you can use just whole cloth as emergent narrative stuff because they're random tables. So, any solo game, that's it. Wow. The worst printed product. I don't want to get into a hate fest. Like that's not what I want the show to be. You know what I mean? I'd rather use tops, do top 5s or whatever instead of bottom. Like like
I'm
really don't
I'm gonna find
want
some
to
shit
do.
I hate, Roger. Give me
I
a sec.
really don't want to do like worst 5 games or whatever.
Roger's
you know?
worst 5 covers. Definitely
but-
one is
yeah.
definitely Knave 2E special edition, and one is definitely the
But-
Electric State special edition. I know that.
But yeah. I mean, yeah, those are definitely probably the bottom 2. But yeah, I get it. Like, and you know, Paul, I'll say this. I don't think it's bad. Like, I honestly think if that book was $10 on a shelf,
oh, it'd be awesome.
it would be
value then,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Great value, it's fantastic and all that. I think the issue with it is that it is very tiny and it is $50. Like, that's the problem with Knave 2. I don't think it's a bad game. I don't think it's bad design. I know it's all random tables, but I mean, for $10, I think it's fantastic. You know, it brings it from the bottom 2 up here. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, my copy of
Yeah.
Knave 2, I got at half price books for like $12.
well, then you got it on quarter price books.
Yeah. I
No,
would not
I get it.
pay
I get it,
$50 for that.
right?
It's the equivalent of, 'cause you see this in sports a lot, where we've seen it a lot in Philly, certainly the last few years, where you sign somebody for $25 million a season or $40 million a season, that if they were making $12 million a season, you'd feel pretty good about it. But you know, pay Tobias Harris $40 million a year, you want to blow your brains out. So it's the same thing. Like when you have a product that would be okay for $20 that you paid $50 for, you don't feel, it could definitely colors how you feel about that product.
Yeah. I was looking to see if I can pull my Knave book out. I'm not even sure where it is.
I have one. I removed my dog.
But
Jesus, Paul.
well, all right. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. I mean, I agree with most of it.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, no kidding.
Stop holding
Yeah.
back.
I did. Speaking of 8 Ball of Coke, though,
What?
I did just back.
Is that why you back so
Ed,
much?
What are you talking about?
Did your Kickstarter backing while you're going blowing through an 8 ball?
We'll see that short come up here.
I backed a small module that is Cocaine Owlbear Halloween edition.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Actually sounds kind of interesting.
I really hope
That's-
you have clips enabled on your channel so I can go clip. Speaking of an 8 ball of Coke.
But,
Splice that with I did,
Yeah.
which he said 3
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. No, fun stuff. Back to the
Oh,
crowd.
Cocaine
Yeah,
Owlbear is
yeah.
a hack of Honey Heist.
Yes. Yeah.
Talked about Honey Heist before.
Yeah, and then there's a Halloween one that I don't know if it just came out or before. I just got an email notification about it. I don't know if I thought I backed it not too long ago. So
1 month ago. Let's
Yeah.
see. I think I may have missed it.
yeah, well, you know, I mean,
Yeah, I missed it. Thanks a lot, Roger.
Oh, don't worry. Everybody opens up for late pledges these days.
oh man. So yeah, yeah, Cocaine Owlbear Halloween special.
Do me a favor, add an extra copy of that when you do your survey.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What
I will.
system is it for? Or is it just its own thing?
It's Honey Heist.
I'm not familiar with it. Is that like a mouse
It's
trigger
like
thing?
No.
it's
It's Yogi Bear. You're trying to steal
Matt-
honey.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and you have a hat.
You,
I
they all
see.
have hats, yeah.
Do you have like
Like,
a
that's-
gun or anything?
No.
No,
No,
what
You're
are
a
you?
bear.
Jesus,
What are you talking
You're-
about?
You're a goddamn bear.
Okay, well,
That's literally how it says it
cocaine
on the-
was
on the
involved, so
book.
I didn't know if maybe there was like bear toting guns or some shit.
Well, Honey Heist doesn't have any cocaine.
See,
Oh.
Honey Heist
Dan's
is
starting to
your-
make this game appealing to me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rooster, absolutely. running a game, encourage players to scheme in front of me, and I reassure them that whatever they come up with, I will not use that against them. Absolutely. Absolutely.
There was a moment a couple weeks ago on my Monday night game where they were like chittering back and forth between each other, and then all of a sudden, like, Matt stopped and he was like, Dan's smiling. That's always fun.
You're a bear. Does that mean Jason can play the Ranger? Yes.
Different kind of Ranger.
That's right.
Yeah, I always laugh in Glass Cannon when Troy will do that when they're the PCs are like having a little PC huddle like they do, but if they're doing it in character, like Troy will cut in as the NPC at some point and be like, "What did you guys just say?" Because it's like if you're saying it in character, like, are you having this conversation 2 feet away from the person that you're talking about? It always makes me laugh. So
yeah, that's fantastic. So yeah, good stuff.
Brain heist.
Good stuff.
Man, I didn't know there was a whole ecosystem of honey heist hacks. I've been missing out.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten in on a lot of them, but
Apparently, my indie foo is weak. I've heard of none of these.
Well, I mean, they're like short, like I mean, they're very niche kind of things,
Yeah.
So
my indie support goes to like, indie creators that make like modules for systems that I play, right? That's rather than like indie game systems.
Sure. Yeah. No, I get it. Definitely.
Although I did pick up an indie game system about a month ago called Primal Quest. It was on
Primal Quest.
Funeral.
Yeah.
And I want to get my buddies over to play it and make them all talk like cavemen for a day. Just sounds like a good time.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's like a primal Neanderthal caveman style RPG. So like Stone Age RPG.
It's like Primal the show, but an RPG.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Vince keeps talking about macho women with guns running at CNY. Yeah, I mean, do it, right? Do it. You won't.
Yeah, do it, Vince. I'm gonna lightning bolt your ass.
Yeah. Is there a lightning bolt spell in that game?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna.
If so, Dan's in.
I'm just gonna get a taser and shock his ass because I'm gonna drive out next year.
Are you? You're driving?
Yeah, because I bought too much shit this year.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's not that bad to drive. It's like
Critical Role plays Honey Heist.
Yeah.
What? I gotta rethink the game now.
Cancel the pledge.
Well, they're not playing Cocaine and Owlbear, in fairness.
No, they're definitely not playing Cocaine and Owlbear. Yeah. So, man, what were we talking about today?
Emergent gameplay versus story gameplay. And why Powered by the Apocalypse games are boring.
He's in. Yeah, I mean, I don't like PBTA because it's like fixed difficulty rolls and I don't know. I just don't like that. I'm just not a huge fan of that. I mean, I'll play other games with it, and that, but I don't know. There doesn't seem to be like scaling there, a lot of it. +1 or +2 or whatever, but I don't think it means that much. So that's why I don't like PBTA. But that's my opinion, But that's you want to say something there, Matt? Yeah.
No, I mean those games in Forge in the Dark. I think I like the Forge in the Dark games a little bit better generally.
Yeah,
but
they definitely improved it to the point where I'll play it.
They are challenging to run. So Blades in the Dark is really tough because it's all emergent. It's no pre-written narrative stuff. It's all sandbox and emergent play, and the system is loaded with, for the person running it, so degrees of success, and then also devil's bargains you're supposed to come up with, and the players can exchange position for effect. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. I feel like running that game is a lot. It is a lot of work on the game master, not in the same way as 5e expects the game master to do work.
Right.
It's almost the opposite of that. It's like instead of all this ridiculous prep work that you have to do to keep people on this roller coaster ride, it's the opposite of that, where it's you have to be so nimble and so quick to improvise that I find it very taxing after a while, where I'm just like, I'm not used to having to be like this level of on for an entire game session.
I agree. I agree with that, and I kind of enjoy that once in a while, just to like keep the gears going and keep the you know what I mean, to see if I still got it. You know what I mean? They can come up with stuff.
I don't I don't disagree with you. It's they're I'm just amazed that people could run that as their like one game that they run every week or whatever. I just find it really taxing. Like I do miss like some parts of Mothership or fantasy games where it's like the party's arguing about something stupid for 10 minutes. Like as a player, that's probably frustrating. When you're running the game, it's kind of like, oh nice, I get to shut my brain off for 10 minutes.
Brain break,
have a drink or something while they talk about which brick they want to press or whatever stupid thing they're arguing about.
Stone Top looks interesting.
It's huge.
And I know that's PBTA. I know they've made some changes to it. I don't know how minimal and stuff it is, but it does look really cool. It's got a whole setting, right? A whole world and everything. I assume it's got all adventures and everything in it, right? There's a couple of big books, right, for the whole thing.
2 huge books,
yeah. And that looks good, and it does look good. So yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see how it goes. So let us know. So, yeah. Bill and Ted, remember the garbage can, dude? Yeah. So yeah, probably that it's a nice slipcase, all in one. I like that it's a whole like campaign setting and rule set, like all in one thing. I like that. Whereas just a normal, PBTA, like Dungeon World or whatever, like it doesn't have like a really like implied setting or stuff to do. It's just like, here's rules for the game.
Stone Top, I think the conceit of it more than anything is that the Stone Top is like the community, and the adventures and things that you do are all about protecting and growing your community. So it's a slightly different, it's like an inverted look of a fantasy RPG, where instead of it's the character and how powerful my character is going to become, it's about, we have this town that is beset by threats, environmental and other physical or fantastical threats, and the actions we do can benefit or harm that town over time. And so it's almost like a video game where you have like a base of operations and you are leveling up the town as much as you are leveling up yourself. And the opposite too, when you fail at stuff, it impacts the town. So it's a little different.
Yeah. That's definitely got some cool stuff. Yeah, it's a new book that Roger has. So that's why it's interesting. No, come on, guys, give me a little more credit than that. I just don't back things. I mean, I do, but
I haven't dug into it either. But I've heard the GM advice in it is really strong as well. Like from a system agnostic perspective, kind of like Mothership. You can read the Mothership Warren's manual and take stuff away that has nothing to do with running Mothership, just running a game in general. I hear that book has a lot of stuff like that as well, that if you'll come out of reading it with some new tricks if you're a game master. So
yeah no, it definitely looks cool. So yeah, no, I'm happy for you. Yeah, 100% non-murder hobo. Yeah, no, I mean, so yeah, I don't know, let us know. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah, you think you got problems? Yeah, I got lots of problems. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on Kickstarter. I think I've toned it back some, and I mean, but part of that is, even if I tone it back now, like that doesn't show until like 2 years from now.
2 years
right
from now.
Because they're still rolling in. Yeah, sometimes I get the look from the wife. She'll be like, there's a box for you upstairs and it's heavy as hell. I'm like, I paid for it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I scaled back my big board game playing a lot. I still play smaller games plenty, but I don't play as many of the big like campaign games. and it sucks because it's like there's still stuff I know is coming in. And I'm like, oh, good, this thing I cared about 3.5 years ago is coming in.
Yeah, but
now.
like there's like we had this conversation the other day. I don't remember who was talking about it, but like Gloomhaven. Like someone was talking about Gloomhaven, and I'm just like, spend $20, buy it on Steam.
Yeah,
like play with
the
it.
Steam version is so good too. Yes, we did talk about it, and the Steam version but it's is like, so good.
It's like you like some of these games, like we talked about Jason's game there, the Skyrim one, I think it was. Like that'd be perfect to play on like Steam or whatever, unless you have a spot where you could set it up and leave it.
Right.
Like,
and you can't do that if you have cats.
You're right. I mean, unless you got like a game table that you can, bury it under the, inside the table, Right. And so, and Edgelord, that's why I like getting it on Steam is fantastic. Because then it doesn't matter. It's on your computer. You just play it. You can play with other people.
You get if you back an RPG product, unless you're going crazy for some of these, Crooked Moon thing, spending $400 or something, like, even Roger, like say you decide you hate Call of Cthulhu and now you have like 3 fancy leather edition Call of Cthulhu, you can flip those and it's easy to mail a book. Like if you dropped $800 on Marvel Zombies and half your basement is now filled up with CMON Marvel Zombie boxes, it's very hard to flip that without offering it for like 1/3 of what you paid.
Right.
So
Now it's $100 shipping plus or whatever it is. Yeah.
Roger, did you back the $1,000 Deathbringer with the leather jacket?
No comment. No, I did not. I did not back at a pledge level where I get a was it a denim jacket or
denim jacket? Yeah, it was a denim jacket.
Denim jacket.
$300.
Yeah, no, I can't wear like a jacket. I mean, I got my my vest with all my patches and stuff on it. So
there's stuff in that campaign. The adventures, especially, there's some people who I like that are writing adventures as part of that package, but I could not bring myself to back it. I kind of want to read the adventures, but
and I backed it. I mean, I think that I don't know.
You did?
I think that I know, big shocker, right? Like I liked Deathbringer a lot more before he got Roll for Combat involved. Like, I think when it was his own thing and, and he was having rules and just kind of running it, like it was fine. But then when he actually had to codify it and make a book and like went to, Roll for Combat, and he seemed to have like let go of a lot of things and let them handle a bunch of stuff. And so I think that loses some of its, indie feel or whatever, where now it feels like it's a,
indie games don't make $1.1 million
product or whatever, Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But I know, Paul. I know they won't know when I don't have the jacket. I know. I got my cool vest, Paul. I got my cool vest. It's got all my patches and stuff on it. This is what I got. I'm not going to get another game's jacket. This is what I got. I spent too long.
I watched the live play and it didn't wow me. So I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Honestly, the one thing in that entire campaign that looks the most interesting to me is the neoprene ultimate dungeon terrain, like that's 2-sided. Like that would be handy for a con. But I also know those, if I really want them, will be in the Roll for Combat store after the campaign. So.
Yeah, or they'll be on Marketplace or eBay when all these people get their product in 2 years and go, I don't even want this anymore, and now you can get it for half of what they paid.
That's true too.
Or people start selling them on Etsy, like just like they did his regular boards. Like I see those on Etsy all the time. I'm like, you do know that's a piece of $7 foam core that you could just
those are
and now I got paint
$50.
I can make my own with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah. Those are kind of neat. The UDT. Yeah. Like I like the idea of that. And I know that there's like pushback for anybody that wants like tactical combat, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a neat idea to kind of simply do, combat like that. But yeah.
So are you
Yeah, there's
backing? That's
more
a
and
good
more systems
question.
using that.
Are you back in 7-part pack, Roger?
No, I did not.
I don't know what 7-part pack is.
So it's actually fairly relevant to tonight's topic. It's a GM-less. So basically, it's an RPG that supports up to 7 people. You're all playing like like Archmagus or whatever, like the master of one school of magic. So there's up to 7 schools of magic. And you're basically like a council of elders of the most powerful wizards, and each of you sort of has a trying to think of, there's more and more board games do this anymore, where each wizard has a board game that sort of dictates how their stuff works, and it's unique to each player. Like not everybody's doing the same thing, but it's a storytelling game. It's a GM-less storytelling RPG with a lot of board game-y parts to it.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of the not Dark Sun. What's the thing that Monty Cook did? They did that black box,
Numenera?
Invisible Sun or something like that.
Invisible Sun.
Invisible Sun.
Yeah. I don't know. My thing, like I like the art. It has that like like Middle Ages monk drawn artwork, like that sort of thing. But like the no GM thing, I mean, it's a board game at that point. I mean, I know that there's GM-less systems out there, but like, I know with all the components and stuff, it just looks like a large board game. That's my opinion, but I didn't have any interest in it. So that's my answer. I'm not super interested in GM-less systems.
It's done way more. It's closing in on $1 million with 2 days left, which I'm kind of. I mean,
wow.
It's $150 for the base one or $300 for the fancy one. So I guess I shouldn't be, but I would not have guessed this would be a $1 million project.
Yeah.
Wasn't there that cozy witch RPG for 5e that just went for like 1.4 million or some damn thing too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But that I could buy. Honestly, that I could sort of buy more than this one.
But yeah, but that's like, because that's like a 25-page book or whatever, right? Or whatever it is. It's a small thing, that you could just do. I mean, this is a big, huge thing. This is like an investment, that you need 6 other people to buy in and read the book, and then have time to sit down and play it.
I want to be able to buy it and actually play it, but I know I would never get that game tabled. There is no chance in hell I would ever have a group where it's like, hey, we're going to get together for a while and regularly play this game where all of you have to learn your own. Not only is it an RPG, but it's also a board game, and not only is it a board game, but everybody's rules are different. Like, there's no chance. Like, that would never happen in a million years.
Right.
I would never be able to get that.
I have enough problems trying to get like Root to the table.
Yes, it's like that on. It's like exactly. It's Root plus an RPG on top of it.
And Root is pretty simple. The only thing that throws people is, okay, if you're playing the cats, your goal is this, and you can only move on these spaces. If you're the birds, you have all these cards, and you have to deal with who the leader is.
Right.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? And like, if you're the otters, your goal is to buy and sell shit. You run the market. Like, and it's like, trying to explain to like everybody, like, okay, these are your rules. Everybody else doesn't matter. This is what you have to do, and then try and see, this is where everybody interacts and how, how it all works together. Like, that's hard enough, but now to do that with an RPG, I mean, it seems great, right? That's like, wow, that's so much fun, but you're not going to do it with 3 people. I think that's the bottom end of it. But like, I think with 3 people, it's going to be It's like playing Gloomhaven solo. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, you want to play it with 5 or 6 people, and now you need 5 or 6 people that are going to be invested into reading a whole book, learning all their own rules, and then it's going to show up every week to play this thing for a year.
Yeah, Quinn's Quest did a good video on it where the first half hour it's like, oh man, I got to get this, and then the next half hour he's basically like, here's why you should probably not buy this. Like this is really for a pretty select. Like you're gonna buy this and you're probably not gonna play it. So I was like, hey, that's me. I don't want to be like Roger. I want to try to buy stuff I'm gonna play.
Yeah. So. No, and I'm trying to like push myself toward that, and it's rough, right? It's like it's hard for me, you know. Like I admit it. But yeah, like I don't know, but things like that, especially like when they're GM-less, like that really puts me off. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I'm not gonna run that because that's a big board game. And I'm not.
Yeah, if it uses adjectives like GM-less or cozy or like that kind of not happening for me personally.
Like
cozy
I don't mind
is a
cozy.
Good, yeah.
Like I don't mind cozy, but that's like the right people.
Cozy right means people. There's no conflict, which means you don't have a game.
Yeah, right. But like in context, like I could run a cozy game with like my wife and my daughter or whatever, because we play board games now and again. And we're doing stuff like I can, you know, like we play like Cat Cafe where we're making cats and coffee and you know what I mean and things and whatever to serve customers.
Well, right, but like, if I'm going to do something like that, I'm going to play it the
serving
game,
customers
not
cats.
the RPG.
I'm intrigued.
Right? Yeah, no, it's a
a Chinese restaurant game.
Oh man. So yeah, I mean, yeah,
something like that in a board game, I get right. Like you can play like Sushi Go, right? Like it's a fun little board game, and you're making sushi rolls, and everybody laughs and has a good time. But in a role playing game, I want conflict, I want combat, I want awesome situations, like I want like big titties and chainmail bikinis, right? Like these are all things that need to occur.
Deathbringer.
No.
So
no, there you go.
No, I'm with you. I took me some time to realize that cozy as an adjective to explain an RPG product means it's not for me.
Yeah.
And so the One Ring, the first starter set, the Hobbit, the that they reprinted as that Hobbit hardback, that's cozy role playing. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want the tension to be, you know, can I steal the potato before the farmer gets mad at me or whatever? Like that's not what I wanted. I can do that in real life if I want. I want to role play something that I can't do in real life, you know?
Right. I want the tension to be something along the lines of like, you know, can I steal this gem and like not get thrown in prison, or can, you know, I outrun the dinosaur that's chasing me through the freaking jungle or some shit, like, you know, Red Nails. Like, not, you know, can I brew the perfect cup of coffee? So
yeah,
maybe I'm just judgy and old.
Waffles, I think you'll be okay.
I think you'll be perfectly fine.
I mean, I've got the whole FOMO thing. You know, I get it. I get it. You know, I mean, Stan's gonna paint one of the miniatures for me. He doesn't know it yet, but
I'll do it. The miniatures are cool. If I was gonna back anything out of that, it would be the miniatures. I could care less about the game. Like I said, I hope he does very well with it, but it has no interest to me. Like
yeah. Like I said, I had interest in the older version of it.
Yeah.
You know? But now it's. I mean, I backed it. You know, but yeah.
And it's coming at a time for me where personally, Shadow Dark's kind of like run its course for me in a lot of ways. And if it's built on like a Shadow Dark system, then you know,
I'm still liking Shadow Dark.
If I
short stuff.
If I wanted to do something, I would just play Shadow Dark. Like, why do I need that game? You know,
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in some of the stuff. I like some of the ideas that he's got going on. So, you know, that you get like special abilities when you die or get like a critical injury or whatever and stuff like that. I think it's kind of
neat.
So.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, but you could also bolt that onto Shadow Dark or OSE or something like that.
Right.
Cool.
No, correct. You can. Yeah. No, absolutely. And I wouldn't just run that game just for that. You know, I mean, I want to see, you know, what it is and, you know, go from there. Yeah, Dan is 100% right.
Of course I am.
Shadow Dark is becoming old. I don't think it's becoming old. I don't think old is the right word. I think bloated is the word. I think it's trying to be more than what it is. And I think some of the smaller stuff is fine. Like I think things like Shadow Sun and like some of the smaller settings and things that are just trying to do one thing, I think is fine. But when you look at like the whole Western Reaches thing, I don't know. I think it's trying to add on too much to a game that is designed to be smaller.
It's trying to add on a bunch of shit that should have been there in the first place.
Out of just random, like a curiosity, did you think the same thing when the expert set for D&D came out?
No, but the basic set only went to level 3.
Right, but I mean, I don't think it's getting bloated. I think it's bloated in the fact that there's a lot of crap being made for it. There's some really good stuff being made for it, but there's a lot of crap. I don't think adding like wilderness exploration. I think that's actually probably what that game needs is a little bit of expansion because it is.
No, you're right.
I agree.
You're right. I agree with you, Stan. And I'm not debating that, right? Like I think that's fine, and adding all of that is a great idea. But I think once you get like that, and now you need, like, in order to run it, you need that, and you need the Western Reaches stuff, and you need the 4 zines or whatever. Like without a compiled edition, and even with a compiled edition, like now it's no longer like BX, right? It's like
that one book,
it's like the next step. Even if it's like one book, right? And it's like that step, it's definitely not as big of a step as like basic to advanced is, right? But like it's getting there, I think. It's getting there. It's getting to that point where like Shadow Dark, the core book is clean and concise and plays smooth. And I think when you start adding on all these rules to it, it starts to get rules bloat, and it's not this light game anymore. You know, I mean, I don't know that's my opinion. I mean, yeah. And I mean, Shellback
I just see guys like say the Glass Cannon guys that are using it, and they actually do very little dungeon crawling with it. Like they're doing mostly exploration with it. And I don't know if they've gotten some advanced stuff from her because they're a big thing and they're running her game, maybe, hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see just people doing a lot with it. Yeah,
Troy,
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Troy said he did that. That he has an advanced copy of some of the stuff from the Kickstarter.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I would expect it, honestly, for a channel and group, as big as their organization. I would do it if it was my game. I'd give them all the shit I had.
Yeah, right, sure.
But I think I think they're a good example of what you can do with that game beyond its intended purpose.
Sure.
Like as a convention dungeon crawler, like they're playing a long form campaign with it. I mean, I'm in the same boat, kind of like my players don't really have a great, at least I don't think. I know it actually came up the other day in conversation that, like Rooster in the comment said, he would rather play Dragonbane than Shadow Dark. And I liked it because it was easy to prep, but if I had to choose between the two, I would pick Dragonbane any day of the week.
I'd rather play Dragonbane than Shadow Dark. I like big, awesome settings because I have, dreams of running them, but also there's like a lot of cool stuff to, pull from in them a lot of the time, right? Like I am looking forward to Shadow Sun Revised because I've played the original Shadow Sun. That was great. But like I know in my heart, right, I will play Shadow Sun Revised long before I actually play anything that's in the Western Reaches Kickstarter that I'm still waiting for. Just as an example. So
same boat.
Yeah, and I'll definitely still run, Shadow Dark stuff. I mean, the reason we're switching the campaign is because my weekly campaign, for those of you that missed that, we're switching to Forbidden Lands. I've got one player that knows a lot about it. And basically, is I think it's going to be a better fit for the campaign that I want to run. Like I definitely want to run wilderness, unknown wilderness exploration. I want to do some domain play, and like that sort of has some of that stuff built in.
Yeah, that's a way better. I mean, if that's the purpose of the campaign, that's a way better. Forbidden Lands is a way better choice than Shadow.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Yeah,
right, and so that's why we're switching to that.
Yes,
You know,
the fact is multiple factions, and it's got all that. It's cool. It's a cool
Sure.
setting. It's
Yeah.
cool system. I mean, it does focus on, that exploration's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Resource
And
management. It has really good resource management rules. So
I think I will be grossly unprepared for this weekend, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
yeah, perfect.
Or we're all going to be figuring out. Jason's the only one that's going to have read all the books cover to cover, so he'll be the.
You should have one person prepared.
Guy
That's
for a
good.
while. Yeah, at least we'll have one person prepared. So yeah, no, so that's I mean, the system's pretty straightforward. I mean, I think it'll take a little bit to just get used, get everybody used to it. But
No, it's
yeah,
a big change from Shadow Dark, that's for sure.
Yeah, sure. And then and I mean, I'll still run one shots of Shadow Dark and things like that. I think. I mean, that's still something that, because I love it for one shots. I think it's great for that. I've said it before, like the whole Fafford and Gray Mauser thing. I think that's exactly what it's designed to do, and it does it really well. So, I mean, I think I'd run Shadow Dark over OSE or any kind of BX game.
It's funny. I've had this revelation. The more OSE that I play, the more that I realize that OSE BX is not for me, and I prefer the AD&D like leaning clones of the clone world.
So when you say the AD&D leaning clones, are you talking about like Dragon Slayer that sort of leans a little bit into?
No, I'm talking Ostrich. Ostrich, Hyperborea. Yeah. I'm sure I would like Adventures Dark and Deep. I have not shelled out the money for those books because paying $80 for a 600-page pod seems like a silly decision.
It's definitely a big. They're definitely big books,
right? I haven't had good luck with drive-through hardcovers, so
what we got to do is we got to get Matt to get really interested in Adventures Dark and Deep, and he'll get super frustrated with the size of the books and get the PDFs and completely revamp them. And then I think make the game in a handheld playable format.
Convert it into an A5 that's as wide as it is tall. It's 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches.
It's a cube.
I haven't played it, but I do like Adventures Dark Deep, but I share your thing. I mean, I bought them, but it would be nice if they I think I told my son the other day, I was like, if they came out with a Kickstarter to do like, Smithsonian books or something, I'd probably back it because I really like it as a AD&D clone. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I don't know if he can get those books, my son. I think that would probably cost $300 for those books.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why they're pods,
right? Yeah.
But it's so expensive to do it.
To Eclectic Goat, I do like Castles and Crusades. I like other systems more. I like Castles and Crusades as long as you stop at level 12 and you don't allow the 46 different varieties of multi-classing they chose to put in that game.
Yeah, agree. Agree. Mr. Blawface, I got to play Forbidden Lands. If you could breathe now games. You could breathe now games. Yeah, I was talking a lot about it. I actually was talking to him about it. And,
Ian's a good dude.
Converting and all of that. Yeah, great dude. Great dude. He was at CNY. He's planning on coming back next year. So yeah, good times. Good times. So yeah, we're going to that. Yeah, I don't know. Adventures Dark and Deep, like.
Well, just if I can, if you are interested in it, he has the light version, which is pay what you want on drive-through.
And I have that. Yeah.
And
I have the hardcover light version.
One book. It's obviously it's light. It doesn't have everything that the full game has, but if you're interested in it, I would suggest getting that. And I mean, it's one book, and you can. Last I knew, you could pay what you wanted for it.
Shellback, it's. Yeah, I don't know. I get where that comes from. But I think they deviated a lot from like 3.5. Like I think they used the base of the D20 system and then made the Siege engine from there, and then use all the stats and everything from 1E. Like, I mean, I think that's sort of how they did it. So I could see how people see that it's that, but it's really not 3.5.
Yeah, it's not 3.5 at all. There's no skill system. Just because it's a D20 roll against a target number doesn't mean it's 3.5.
Right, correct. CNY
by that logic, Shadowdark is 3.5.
June 12th, 13th, 14th. Is that the date? Hang on, let me make sure.
That sounds about right.
It is June 11, 12, 13. It's
Cool.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we're probably going to do a Thursday dinner and stuff. So
sweet. Can I come?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, buddy.
Your staff.
I know. Senior staff.
So senior staff. Just stop it. I'll finally make Jeff staff, and I'll give all the rest of the staff senior staff badges.
No, just give him that press badge he wants.
Give him a press badge. Oh man. We love you, Jeff.
He's not in chat. I don't know what he's doing.
He's not watching. If he was watching, he'd be plugging the Bad News Bards. Guys, everybody, please like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel so we can get to 500 before Jeff does. That's pretty much it. That, and then we can have subs, and we can do whatever, member only chats, or like whatever. I don't know. Well, I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll figure it out.
When you get members, I'll be a member of your channel, Roger.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
You're welcome, buddy. Just don't make it like $50 a month.
It's $50 for staff. So, yeah. No, good stuff. So yeah, no, we'd love to see you back at CNY, Mr. Blawface. So yeah, good stuff. What else do we got on storytelling? Or
I think we all kind of agreed it needed to be like a mix of the two for the most part.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
There wasn't a lot of fireworks for this one.
I know.
Now, when we talk about funnels, Roger.
Oh, funnels are great. I mean, I don't know what
funnels.
You know.
Waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, Jason's with you on that one. I know that. But
once
Jason and I have a
don't have a
similar
desire to
gaming
do it
wavelength.
Yep.
Same.
So
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
I don't like funnels at all.
No. I did one in DCC, and then I was like, okay. And I mean, I was like, okay, but then I'm like, I have no desire to ever do another one.
I'll run them. They're fun to run. I have no interest in playing them.
Yeah.
I think they're I think they're fun to play.
They're pointless. Just start at level 1 and play the game.
They're not pointless. They're for character selection.
It's a different type of game.
Yeah.
I select my character by rolling a bunch of dice and then entering one on the level.
I hear you. I don't know.
Matt and I disagree with the rest of you guys.
That's fine.
We like funnels. I don't know. I've played in a couple. I would play in more, but nobody really runs them. So I think
it was one of the things that actually put us off about Shadowdark was it was basically when I ran it was basically like a funnel. Like they went through so many. Like Rooster went through 5 characters, I think, in 6 sessions.
Wow.
Like there was no like, there's no like I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like it.
Oh, okay, Mr. Bluff. I thought you said before that you were there this past year. So my apologies. So yeah, no, we'd love to have you. Let me know who you are if you want. I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, you'll see all of us there, and you're welcome to introduce yourself as Mr.
Yeah,
Bluff.
please do. Because it's interesting putting names to YouTube faces.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, or don't, and just keep it a mystery, whatever, whatever you like. But like, we met this guy, for the first time there, and now he won't leave.
I drank that guy's whiskey in the hallway. It's a good time.
No, that was fun. That was a great time. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, Mr. Blobface is down.
All right.
We'll run some funnels at CNY.
Great. You and Matt can play. Have a good time.
Yeah.
It'll be delightful.
Yeah.
I'll play in Jason's All Rangers game.
Yeah, there we go.
That sounds
Oops,
awesome.
All Rangers.
Or
play
Bushido.
That's got to be the title of it when you post it on the thing. It's got to be Oops All Rangers.
Oops, All Rangers.
Why would I say oops? I'll be like, yeah, this is badass Rangers.
No, that's just the
Oops, All
We're
Berries.
badass.
That's
just
the
the
Captain Crunch cereal.
yeah.
Rangers, fuck yeah.
Rangers.
There you go.
Badass Rangers. That's
Rangers.
the title of it. Everyone will know what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And have you officially decided on the system for that?
Oh yeah. It's going
Is
to be One Ring. Yeah.
It is One Ring. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah, you're going to play a group of Rangers of the North. I am
Sweet.
I wanna play
very excited to.
Yeah, I want to play that
Really.
too.
All right.
Can I play the Hobbit Ranger?
No.
There is no Hobbit Ranger.
Is there?
Yeah. You were immediately killed by an orc.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And,
So we start
didn't
out with the
care.
other PC standing over a grave. Roger, tell us how your character died.
One for me and one for my homie. And go.
Just the character sheet when you hand it out, it already has the dead stamp.
dead
on it.
stamp.
Hand it to the player.
Oh, how did
The
that get
scene
there?
opens at a quiet funeral.
He died. Yeah, he died.
Of course, Rangers like a drink, so that funeral is going to turn into a badass wake.
Yes.
There you go.
This is coming together nicely.
Oops, all funnels.
Have any of you ever read the Joe Abercrombie First Law
Yes,
series?
yes.
Which is
Love
awesome.
it.
If you haven't,
I've
you should
heard
either
it's
read
great.
it or listen to it. It's awesome. So I'm going through my second listen of it, and there was a character in there called he's from the north, and this reminds Roger's Hobbit Ranger reminds me of this, but literally his nickname was the weakest, like because he was not good at fighting. And
Excuse me, sorry.
spoiler, he doesn't make it long. And but like that was his name. They called him the weakest, and I'm like, that's Roger's Hobbit Ranger.
Oh
That's
my
amazing.
god!
We'll
Yeah.
toast him and then move on.
Excellent.
That's fantastic.
Man, I love Logan Nine Fingers. It's like my favorite.
He's fucking
There's
badass,
so many level characters.
That's a berserker. That's a berserker. Like I always
He's a
thought barbarian,
berserker.
but like listening to it again, I
Yeah.
just finished the first book today for the second time. He is definitely a berserker. He's not
I
a
love
barbarian.
that.
He's a barbarian,
end
but
of-
he's a berserker.
At the end of every chapter that he's in, they always have the same kind of saying.
Yeah.
Say one thing
Say
about
one
Logan
thing about
Nine
Logan
Fingers,
Nine Fingers.
is that he's he's
Yeah.
crazy, he's
Yeah.
persistent, he's whatever. They do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think, yeah, Joe Abercrombie is
The-
awesome.
The books are
His
really
way he writes stuff
good.
is-
I think because all of the main characters are
total
all
shits.
like they're messed up in some way.
Oh yeah.
And like the only guy, a little bit of spoilers here, but it happens early enough on, I think. Like there's the knight or whatever, the prince or whatever he is that's gonna marry the girl, and he goes off with him,
Oh.
and he's like all perfect, like chiseled jaw and like he's shining his armor
Yeah.
every day, and they're like breaking his balls about it. And like the first battle that they get into, he gets his head smashed in with like a mace, and he's missing teeth and everything, and like
It's
and
fucked
he's
up.
fretting about how his face is messed up and how he looks, and like Logan and the other guys are like, oh, don't worry, girls like a good scar, like you'll be fine or whatever. And he's just like,
Yeah,
going
you got-
on the whole thing. And
You
he's
got
all-
Logan that's like head to toe, he's
Messed
just
up.
scars, but the way he like
Good stuff.
in that book, when there's like one scene, like I think in the whole first book, where he really like goes into the berserk part of it, and it was like, holy shit, I had forgotten
Yeah.
about like how intense that was. It was
They don't
really
even-
well written.
They don't even like, it's all off screen. Like it happens.
All right. The mace
Well,
to the teeth thing. convinced me. The first one will be here Thursday. We'll see how this goes.
They do one like towards the end of the book.
Do they
where
do
it's not off screen?
Because
Like,
I remember it
literally
being like he
happens.
wakes up and like covered in blood and everything.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of that. No, this one, he literally like he's about to be killed, and he just is like, and something snaps in him, and then he just goes fucking house, and then you get the aftermath of the fight from another party later, and you're like, holy shit, yeah, they
Yeah.
did some damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're awesome. Like so,
Wait.
Yeah, the
so
Black
awesome.
Company, Glenn Cook. That's definitely on my list too. I have it. I just haven't read it yet.
They're
Nice.
really good.
And his book, The Devils, which isn't attached to these at all, is
Right.
just as awesome.
I
I've
have it.
already
I
listened
haven't
to
read
that
it.
twice. That book
But
is
yeah,
awesome.
definitely the First Law trilogy, and then I hear the second trilogy is good too.
Great. Yep, it's great.
But
And
the
then
First
there's
Law, I love the magic system and everything too. The way they
Yeah.
kind of, it's great.
Oh, and
It's
it's friggin' horrific. Like it's like
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
fancy, flashy D&D magic. It's just fucking horrific. But then they have the First Law, and then there's 3 other books that are connected but in the same world, and you'll see
Yeah.
some characters show up. Those are I've listened to all of them. And
I have
they're
not
all
read
great.
those yet, but I've heard they're good. Yeah,
Yeah, I've listened to all of them.
yeah,
They're awesome.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Cooperative Waffles. I am totally down with the Casca series. I love that series.
Was it Casca by Sergeant Barry Sandler?
Yeah. He was.
I don't know what that is.
He
Casca.
was special forces guy in Vietnam.
Ballad of the Green Berets.
In fact, yes, he is the one that wrote the Ballad of the Green Berets. He was in a couple of movies, real low grade stuff. But he wrote the Casca, or he started the Casca series. He's dead now, and other people have written it. It's men's fiction. It's he has sex all the time. It's really brutal. The violence is brutal, but man, it's great stuff. It's Casca Longius, or Casca Rufius Longius is his full name. He's the guy he was the centurion that stabbed Christ on the crucifix.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So in the story, he gets the blood on him, and Christ curses him and says, "You will walk the earth until I return." So he's immortal. In fact, that's the first book is called Casca the Immortal, and he's a mercenary. So it goes through thousands of years of him being a mercenary and his adventures. Excellent.
That's
series.
cool.
I never heard of it. That's
It's
cool.
very badass. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, Dan, let us know what you think of
Yeah.
the First Law books. That I think they're awesome. The whole with Glockta.
Yeah, the whole thing's great.
It's all
Yeah,
like,
Glockta and
like the people that you're rooting for are they're completely fucked up. Like, I mean, it's like
Sweet.
that. Yeah. It's just really good. I think it's not like this, typical fantasy thing where like, oh, everybody's, it's not like Star Wars where like everybody's, great and all that. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's good. Good
I
stuff.
agree with Brother
Yeah,
Ansel. I'm
so-
also looking forward to the Tales of the Argosa box set Kickstarter.
same.
Yeah.
I'll back
Yeah.
that.
That one I will back.
Yeah.
Unlike Deathbringer.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Definitely back in that. So, yep. Hey, Techno. So yeah. So that's our 3 hours of tight topic.
Like,
yeah.
When are we going to record another one of those?
We gotta record
Well,
one.
just-
Yeah, I know. It's a time thing. I've been super busy. I don't
Me
know.
too.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
No, I got to stream tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't know. We'll talk.
Okay.
Let's compare schedules.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. 60 books in the Casca series.
Holy shit.
I didn't know there were that many. I think I've read 30.
Well, if he's immortal, I mean,
No,
Wow.
the books
Time
are
for
like
adventures.
this big. These are not like huge novels. You can read one of these in a couple of days. So
Okay.
they're very light reading. But yeah, I honestly, man, I cannot recommend them strongly enough. They're super cool.
I've been reading Clark Ashton Smith. It's been a good
Check.
time.
Techno. I am Judge Roger on Discord.
I got it. Hang on.
Dan. Okay, you were with him on the thing.
Yeah.
Can you post the Discord invite too?
Sure.
But yeah, you can message me there. So Judge Roger. Spoilers. I have not yet decided yet, but probably. Anyway, that's that. But a decision has not been officially made or announced yet. So officially, we don't know. How's that sound? Fantastic. All right. What else? Storytelling, emergent narrative. Any final thoughts?
The Discord links in the private
Fantastic.
chat for
There's
you,
the
buddy.
Discord link. Thank you so much. Let me see. Copy link address. Here's the invite for the CNY Discord. So yeah, good times. So I guess that's that. I guess if anybody's got any indie games that are really good that you want to pull out for next week, let's talk about it. Maybe we'll do that. You guys want to do an indie game episode?
It'd be fun.
I
It
know
would, you
Matt's
would have to
probably got a
include
pile of
indie
them.
games that I want, like I'm looking forward to trying, because I haven't played a lot of like pure indie games.
Well, no, but we can all talk about it, and I'm sure that people will want to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you defining indie game?
Oh, Jesus. Well, I was going to just say, let's leave it
Sorry.
at that and say, hey, let's talk about indie games. And then at the beginning of next episode, we can talk about how we defined indie games and pick the games that we like. How's
That's
that
fair.
sound? Then we each have our own definition. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be able to come to a consensus on
That's
what
fair.
an indie game is. And there's probably a hard line somewhere. I mean, there's
Yeah.
probably like Deathbringer is probably a good one that's on the line, right? Is that an indie game? Like, do you think that's an indie
No,
game?
it is. Yeah, for sure.
Right. I mean, I think so too, but I think anything beyond that is probably not indie. You know,
Is Shadow Dark an indie game?
Ooh, that's a great one. That one's probably on the line for me. You know?
Yeah.
So like if you put something on top of Shadow Dark, if it falls one way, it's indie. If it falls the other way, it's not. Like that's I don't know. Yeah. But we can figure that out. Yes, Wiz War an indie game. No. But
And
I mean, who knows?
to Edgelord's question, I really like Door to Saturn and Tale of Satampra Zeros.
I didn't see there was a question. Sorry.
You asked me what my favorite Clark Ashton Smith stories were.
Oh, cool.
But also like Zothique, like is just cool.
Yeah. Did you back the Zothique thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Shadow Dark. You know?
That one was expensive as hell.
Well, I haven't decided if I want Shadow Dark or if I want DCC yet. And they're gonna let you change during the pledge manager. So
Oh, okay.
even though I don't like DCC, so
Yeah.
So
Shadow Dark is indie, no argument. Okay. Is that because it's not from a major
Yeah,
studio? Major
sure.
publisher?
So
Is that the
right.
thing?
So it's like you
the define major.
The success of a product doesn't define if it's indie or not, right? So like Obsession is an indie movie. Just the fact that it did $300 or $400 million or whatever at the box office doesn't change the fact that it is still an indie movie.
Sure.
Is
Sure.
That's the thing,
Pathfinder an indie game then?
No.
What defines major?
So
Market
Shadow,
capitalization?
so Arcane Library is basically one person doing everything.
That's true.
I don't think that's true anymore.
But okay, so
Kelsey has her wife. There's a couple of other employees.
By definition, in my opinion, a company small enough where one person plus their wife plus a couple part-time employees is clearly an indie. Is to me definitely an indie thing. I mean, sure, she's doing it full time now as a job, so at a certain point you could maybe try to make an argument. But like, they're not part of a major company. They're not in major retail distribution channels. Like it's definitely an indie. It's again, you can't get that much more successful as an indie product. Like, is Mothership an indie product? I don't know. Tuesday Night Games has a lot of other products. They clearly have
multiple people on staff. They have multiple full-time writers. Like I
Mothership
don't
feels indie though.
well, it was.
Well,
it's
that's why
purposely
it's
purposely
nebulous.
designed to feel that way. But yeah, so I mean that's why I asked like what is an indie product, because it's going to be a little bit hard. But I think the way you're framing it up is fine. Like, okay, so what is it to you, and then how did that inform the ones that you picked? That's an easy way to not spend 4 hours arguing about how you care. You know, how you define it.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be like, pain in the ass or anything, but like some people will claim that Pathfinder or Paizo is indie because their definition is not WotC, right? I don't think Pathfinder is.
Yeah.
Ryan, I don't think they have 78 employees because they fired nearly half their workforce a couple months ago because of the whole diamond thing, and they fired, I think, 16 people. And if that's nearly half, that means they're probably rocking about 20 employees right now.
Yeah. So I mean, and then all right, so this is the last one, right? And then we'll cut it. But like Free League is not indie or indie. Like they have small groups.
Free League is a multinational corporation.
Yeah, like to me, Free League, Chaosium, Cubicle 7, Modifius. Like I don't consider any of those indies.
Okay. No, I agree. I agree with that. I just wanted to see about because I know that Free League is like fractionalized, editing and creation or whatever. So they'll have like a team of just a few people working on, a game. Yeah, right. the aliens guys. Yeah. No, I'm just asking. I would say no as well, but but yeah. So, yeah, they were furloughed. They weren't fired. They were furloughed. But yeah.
Furloughed in the way of if we reopen this position, you're the first choice.
Yeah, you just indefinitely don't have a job here anymore.
Right, but you're not getting paid.
Yeah.
That's not a furlough.
It's a mandatory unpaid furlough. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. So we'll talk indie games. So I don't know. We'll talk about whether we're going to do say a top 5 or if we're going to do, something different and just talk about indie games in general. That's probably a better way to do it, but we'll talk about it on the back end. So, on that note, thanks everybody for coming.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you guys for coming. And, we're just about 3 hours. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks everybody for coming along for the ride.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah. Lock up your credit cards. Yeah. We'll see you later. See you later.